The night is quiet now. The air feels soft, like a gentle cloth resting over the world. You are lying still, drifting on the edge of sleep, and the story opens like a lantern in the dark. Far back in time, before temples, before cities, before kings and queens, there was silence. A silence broken only by the sound of wind over stone, or the hush of water moving in rivers. And within that silence, people looked outward into the stars, into the forest, into the endless sky. They felt mystery. They felt wonder. And from that wonder came the first sparks of symbols. Imagine a cave at twilight. The fire is low. Shadows flicker across rough stone walls. A hand presses against the rock, leaving the trace of color: red, black, ochre. A palm print. A spiral. The outline of an animal. These were not drawings for beauty alone. They were whispers to the unseen. Each mark carried meaning beyond its shape. The palm on the wall said, "I am here. We are here. Remember us." The spiral said, "Life turns, returns, and flows again." Symbols were born like this. Simple, quiet, eternal. They rose from the breath of human hearts, reaching for what they could not see. Picture the circle of firelight, flames rising, sparks drifting upward like tiny stars. The people sit around the fire, eyes wide, stories flowing like water. Above them, the sky opens into blackness, filled with constellations. The fire itself becomes a symbol. It is warmth, but also life. It is protection, but also transformation. The fire eats wood, yet from its ashes, new growth can come. In the glow, faces shine, and in their silence, the first prayers are born. The fire teaches, what is gone is not truly gone. It changes, it continues. And so, in the heart of the fire, the human spirit learns about rebirth. On the earth, stones were lifted, placed, and carved, circles of stone, spirals etched deep, lines aligned with the rising sun. No words were needed, only shapes, only patterns. The spiral moves outward. It is growth, journey, the unfolding path of time. The spiral moves inward. It is return, rest, the circle of the soul. Both are true. Both are held in a single curve of stone. As night wind brushes the grass, the stones stand tall watching. They wait, not for hours or years, but for ages. They remind those who pass that the spirit, too, is patient. It unfolds slowly, like a spiral carved by gentle hands. Lift your gaze now into the ancient night sky. The stars burn cold and far away. Yet they shine with messages. Shapes appear, a hunter, a bird, a river of light. Every culture sees its own reflection in the constellations. The stars become guides for travelers. They become calendars for planting and harvest. But they are also symbols of memory. The soul looks upward and says, "There is more beyond this life." Each star is a reminder. Nothing is lost. Everything continues, shining quietly. To sleep beneath the stars is to sleep in the arms of eternity. The sky whispers, "You are part of something vast, something endless." In caves and on stones, serpents are drawn. They coil, they twist, they shed their skin. The serpent becomes a symbol of renewal. When old skin is shed, the serpent shines fresh and new. So too, people believed, the soul can be renewed. What seems like an ending is only a change of form. The gentle serpent, moving in curves, reminds the dreamer, life does not move in straight lines. It bends, it circles, it renews itself. The serpent rests at the dawn of symbols as guardian of mystery. Look upward and see the bird glide across the pale sky. Its wings beat softly, lifting it higher than mountains. The bird is freedom. The bird is spirit. In early symbols, birds were carved as messengers. They carried prayers upward, from earth to the heavens. They became bridges between worlds, between the seen and unseen. To dream of a bird was to dream of release, of rising above the heavy earth. Even now in the silence of sleep, the bird drifts softly across your mind. It reminds you that the soul is light, and it longs to fly. Water flows in every age. The river curves across the land, shining silver in moonlight. People drink from it, wash in it, follow its winding path. And soon, they see that the river itself is a symbol. Water teaches that all things move forward. The stream carries leaves, carries light, carries even memory. Though it flows away, it always returns, as rain, as mist, as dew. The river becomes the soul's journey, never still, always moving, always returning. To rest beside a river is to listen to the voice of time itself. The water whispers, "Do not fear. What passes will return. What is lost is never gone." In the dawn of symbols, offerings were simple: a flower placed on a stone, a shell set by the fire, a fruit left where the river bends. These were not gifts to be seen by human eyes alone. They were messages to the unseen world. We remember you. We honor you. We give back what we have been given. Each offering became a symbol of gratitude, not heavy, not complicated. Just a soft reminder that life itself is a gift, that to give is to be part of the great circle. Imagine the first dawn after a long night. The horizon glows, gold spills across the earth, and warmth returns. The sun itself becomes a symbol of hope. Every morning, it rises again. Every evening, it falls, only to return once more. The sun's journey reminds all souls, darkness is never final. Light always returns. The first worshippers looked eastward. They felt the warmth on their faces and bowed in silence. The sun was not only light, but promise. Promise that each night is followed by morning. In hidden caves, in open fields, fires were kept burning. Some never went out. The flame became a symbol of continuity, of spirit that cannot be extinguished. To tend a fire was to tend the soul. It required care, patience, and attention. If it faded, it was lit again, passed from spark to ember, ember to flame. The eternal flame whispered a truth. Even when it seems gone, life waits quietly to be rekindled. It reminded people of hope. It reminded them that spirit is endless. Now, the chapter softens. The cave walls grow quiet. The fire sinks to embers. The river flows gently in the distance. The stars shine cold and eternal. Above, the dawn of symbols was not about power or control. It was about remembering. It was about giving shape to the unseen so that hearts could feel less alone. The handprint on the wall says, "I was here, I am still here." The spiral says, "Life returns, always returns." The fire says, "Light is never lost." The bird says, "The soul is free." The river says, "All things flow, all things return." These were the first messages to the world, gentle as breath. They remain with us still, etched into stone, carried in story, glowing in dreams. Now, let your own mind rest like a stone in the quiet earth. Let your breath move like a river, steady and calm. Let your thoughts rise like fireflies into the night. The symbols are still here. They live in you as they lived in the ancients. Simple, quiet, eternal. Sleep comes easily now, carried on the gentle wings of time. Rest as the first symbols fade softly into the dark, and let us drift onward to the next story, to the next dream. The night is still. The air carries only the hush of unseen winds, moving gently through the dark. Somewhere far off, water laps against stone, a rhythm as old as the earth itself. Above, the moon glows in silver calm, a perfect circle, resting in the endless black of sky. You drift closer, your breath slowing, your body resting deeper, and the story opens before you, soft as a ring drawn in sand. It is the story of circles, of eternity, of the patterns that return again and again, whispering that nothing is ever truly lost. In the beginning, people looked around them and saw the shapes of life. They saw the sun, round, blazing, rising each morning and falling each evening. They saw the moon, round, glowing, shifting in phases, but always returning to fullness. They saw the earth beneath their feet, round in the horizon, bending sky to meet land. The circle was everywhere. It was in the eyes of children, in the seeds of plants, in the ripples of a pond. And so the circle became sacred. It was womb and horizon, beginning and return. It reminded every soul that all things flow back to where they began. Picture a quiet night. Thousands of years ago, the people sit together around a fire, not in lines, not in rows, but in a circle. Each face is lit by flame, each shadow dancing against the next. No one is ahead, no one is behind. The circle holds all equally. The fire itself flickers at the center. Sparks rise upward, as if climbing into the stars. Children listen, elders speak, and stories flow like water from one to another. The circle around the fire is more than gathering. It is balance. It is the reminder that life holds everyone. As the horizon holds the sun, no one is lost in the circle. No one is forgotten. Look upward to the night sky. The moon is never still, never the same. One night it is thin, a silver line. Another night it grows, fuller, rounder, until it shines whole and bright, and then it fades again, back into shadow. But it always returns. The circle is complete. The moon's path teaches patience, teaches trust in cycles. Ancient people looked up and saw this dance of light and dark. They understood it as life itself, growth, fullness, fading, rest, and then return. The moon was the mirror of the soul's journey, moving in gentle circles across eternity. At dawn, the horizon glows. The sun rises, steady and golden. It arcs across the sky, then slowly falls again into the west. This too is a circle. This too is eternity. In many lands, the sun was drawn not as a line, but as a wheel. Its spokes turned, carrying time forward. Seasons spun from it. Crops grew and died with it. Life itself rose and set with it. The sun reminded all people that endings are never true endings. Every fall of night holds the promise of return. The circle of light is unbroken. Imagine a stone dropped into a quiet pond. Ripples spread outward, round and smooth, moving far across the surface. Each ring is wider, but each ring is part of the same circle. The ripples remind the heart that every action, every word, every prayer spreads outward. What begins in silence touches the world. What begins in one life touches another. And when the ripples fade, the water does not forget. It still carries the memory of the circle within it, unseen but eternal. Look at the trunk of an ancient tree. Cut across it, and you will see rings inside, circles of time. Each ring is a year. Each ring is a memory. The tree holds the story of storms, of drought, of gentle rains, all written in circles, all carried within. So too, the spirit holds its rings, memories of joy, of sorrow, of growth and renewal, circles layered one upon another, forming the whole. The tree whispers, nothing is lost. All things are held within the circle of time. In many lands, the circle became a wheel, the wheel of life, the wheel of rebirth. It turned slowly, carrying souls from one form to another, birth, growth, death, return, again and again, like seasons turning. The wheel was never seen as a prison, but as a dance. Each turn brought new lessons, new colors, new light. No end was final, no beginning was alone. The wheel of life turns gently even now, unseen but steady. Its spokes reach into every life, connecting all souls in one great cycle. The circle does not always close in perfect form. Sometimes it spirals inward, like the shell of a snail, or outward, like the curve of a galaxy. The spiral is the circle in motion, ever turning, ever expanding. To walk a spiral path is to walk slowly toward a center, step by step, winding inward. It is meditation, patience, reflection, and to follow the spiral outward is to grow, to explore, to reach new horizons. Both directions belong to eternity. Both are part of the circle's truth. In ancient temples, people danced in circles, steps slow, hands joined, feet moving as one. The circle dance was prayer made visible. It was harmony in motion. Each dancer was part of the whole. Each movement led back to the beginning, and the dance could go on forever, a mirror of the stars turning above. The circle dance taught the heart, you are part of something endless. Your steps are joined with all others. The circle was also drawn on the earth, lines traced with sticks, with ashes, with stones. Sacred spaces were shaped in round form. Inside, the circle was safe. The circle was boundary, but not wall. It was a reminder that within this ring all is watched, all is blessed. No harm could enter the circle of prayer. No darkness could break its form. The circle glowed as protection, as gentle embrace. At dawn and dusk, the horizon bends round the earth. It is a circle we cannot walk, but always see. The horizon holds the world in its arms. It tells the heart that the journey is endless. No matter how far one travels, the circle will always return. The horizon is both limit and promise. It is womb and cradle of light. To gaze at the horizon is to rest in eternity's arms. The circle appears again and again, because it is the truth of life. Every breath you take is a circle. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. A wheel of air moving through you, carrying peace. Every heartbeat is a circle. It rises, it falls, it rises again. The rhythm of the heart is the drum of eternity, soft and steady. The circle reminds us, what goes, returns. What ends, begins again. What fades, is reborn in quiet light. Now the night grows deeper, the moon glows brighter, a silver coin resting in the dark. The stars wheel slowly overhead, each in its eternal place. The circle of eternity is not far away. It is here, in your breath, in your heartbeat, in the quiet rhythm of your rest. It is in the horizon, in the flame, in the ripple of unseen water. All things are part of it. All things return. The circle is womb and horizon. It holds you, gently, endlessly. Now let your body rest within this circle of night. Let your thoughts flow outward, like ripples fading into still water. Let your breath move steady, like the moon returning to fullness. The circle is here, protecting you, cradling you. It is without end, without fear, without loss. Now close your eyes more deeply. Feel the soft embrace of eternity around you, and let us drift onward. To the next story, to the next dream. The night is quiet, the air is still, as though the world has taken a long, slow breath. Shadows soften under the pale light of the moon, and the earth feels wrapped in a silver veil. In this stillness, a shape stirs, not threatening, not sharp, but fluid, ancient, and endlessly patient. A serpent glides across the darkened soil. Its body leaves no sound, only a whisper, like silk sliding through water. Its scales catch faint glimmers of moonlight, each one a secret, each one a story. And for a moment, the serpent is not an animal, but a symbol, stretching across thousands of years, coiling through temples, carvings, and dreams. The serpent is wisdom. The serpent is healing. The serpent is memory itself, wrapped around eternity. In the soft deserts of Egypt long ago, the serpent was seen as guardian. Coiled upon the foreheads of pharaohs, it rose as the uraeus, the sacred cobra, ready to strike against chaos. But more than protection, it was vision. It saw what others could not. It warned, it watched, and in its spiral form, it carried the endless return of time, each cycle folding back upon itself, never ending. The pharaoh's crown was never only gold and jewels. It was alive with the image of the serpent, flickering like a flame, resting just above the brow, the place of seeing, the place of thought. The cobra stood for insight, quick as lightning, yet silent as stone. Even in sleep it watched. In Greece, the serpent curled around the staff of Asclepius, the god of healing. It was no accident, for the serpent sheds its skin. It slips out of what is old and worn, and shines again in softness, fresh and renewed. To the ancients, this was not only survival, it was rebirth. The lesson whispered was simple. Nothing ends. It only changes. The serpent reminded them that pain could give way to healing, and endings to new beginnings. Imagine the staff, tall, wooden, smoothed by hands that sought cures. Around it, the serpent winds upward, steady and slow, rising toward the light. Its path is not hurried. It climbs with patience, knowing that true healing is never rushed. Step by step, coil by coil, the serpent teaches the pace of recovery, the rhythm of life. Far across the seas, in India, serpents became nagas, half human, half snake. They lived in rivers and beneath the earth. They were guardians of treasure, protectors of sacred waters. To dream of a naga was to touch the hidden depths of the spirit. Some spoke of the great serpent Ananda Shesha, floating on endless waters. Upon this serpent, the god Vishnu reclined, dreaming the worlds into being. Here, the serpent was more than wisdom. It was the foundation of all creation. Its coils stretched across infinity, carrying galaxies like jewels upon its back. Close your eyes and imagine this vision, an endless serpent, shining in cosmic light, floating on still waters that have no... Sure, its body is horizon upon horizon. Its breath is the wind that stirs the stars. Every moment of life rests gently upon its coils. And the dream of the universe continues. In Mesoamerica, too, the serpent returned. Here, it had feathers. Here, it soared like a bird, yet slithered like a river. It was Quetzalcoatl, the feathered serpent, teacher, bringer of knowledge, creator of humankind. The serpent did not stay below, hidden in darkness. It lifted itself into the sky, wearing the plumage of birds, shining with colors of dawn. It showed that wisdom is not only deep and secret, wisdom also rises. Wisdom also flies. The people told of Quetzalcoatl as a gentle god who gave maize to feed them, who taught crafts and science. The serpent with wings carried the gift of culture itself. It joined the earth and the heavens, reminding that true knowledge belongs not to one place, but to all realms. Across these lands and ages, the serpent is never only one thing. It is death and it is life. It is hidden and it is revealed. It is the shadow at the edge of the path, and it is the guide that leads forward. To some, it was feared, to others adored, yet always it was remembered. Even in temples carved into stone, the serpent appears. It coils around columns, circles doorways, rises in spiral stairways. Each curve, each loop, is a reminder of cycles, birth and death, day and night, awakening and sleep. The circle never breaks, it only flows. Listen, now, to the serpent's quiet lessons. It says, do not fear change. Shed what is old, as skin is shed. Step into what is new, as dawn replaces night. It says, guard what is sacred. Your spirit is a temple. Hold watch over it, as the cobra upon the brow of kings. It says, heal slowly. Wounds close in their own time. As the serpent winds in patience around the staff, it says, remember the depths. There is treasure hidden in rivers and in silence, guarded by serpents of the unseen. It says, reach upward. Knowledge is not only below, but also above. Like the feathered serpent, rise toward light. The serpent wins softly in stories, but also in dreams. Perhaps you, too, have felt its presence as you drift between sleep and waking. Perhaps you have seen it glimmering behind closed eyes, moving not with fear, but with grace. For in dreams, the serpent does not bite. It glides, it circles, it teaches. Its scales shimmer like fragments of memory. Its tongue flickers like sparks of thought. And always, it waits at the threshold between one state and another. The ancients saw this clearly, for the serpent was boundary between earth and underworld, between sickness and health, between ignorance and wisdom. It lives in between. It guides the passage. The world is quiet again. The serpent slides into darkness, leaving only the gentle trace of its path. The moon rests higher now, casting long, soft beams across the land. The air feels cooler. The stars drift in silence. The serpent's wisdom does not fade. It remains in the heart of symbols. In the circles of eternity, in the breath of those who sleep, it remains in you. Calm, silent, ever moving. Rest now, as the serpent coils into stillness. Let its patience be your patience. Let its endlessness be your dream. For wisdom waits, not in noise but in quiet, not in haste but in calm. And so, under the silver gaze of the stars, the serpent sleeps, and you too drift into the same silence. Let us drift onward into the next story. As the serpents of wisdom close their eyes, the horizon glows. It is not yet dawn, but the promise of light is already stirring. Shadows soften, and the sky begins to pale, as if brushed gently with gold. The world holds its breath, waiting, then slowly, gently, the sun rises. Its rays spill across the earth like warm hands, touching river and stone, tree and temple. The night folds itself away, and day is born again. This rising, this golden awakening, is older than memory. For as long as humans have lifted their eyes to the sky, they have watched the sun with reverence. It is not only fire, not only light, but something greater, an eye of heaven, a radiant guardian, a circle of eternity that opens each morning and closes each night. In the deserts of Egypt, the sun was worshipped as Ra, a great disk, shining upon the brow of the sky. It traveled in a golden boat, sailing across the heavens by day, and descending into the underworld at night. The journey was endless, and yet it was always new. Ra's eye was everywhere. It watched over fields of grain, over the river Nile, over kings and common people alike. In the brilliance of midday, the eye was fierce and clear. In the fading of dusk it softened, as though blinking into rest. Temples rose high in the desert to greet him. Obelisks caught his rays, reflecting beams like fingers of light stretching back to the heavens. Priests sang softly at dawn, welcoming the return of the golden eye, for without it, there was no life. The sun gave warmth to seed and root, guided the floods of the Nile, and lifted shadows from the earth. To the Persians, the sun shone with another name, Mithra. He was light, truth, and the friend of all who honored their word. When the sun rose, it revealed all things. There were no secrets, no shadows to hide behind. Mithra's golden gaze reminded people to live with honesty, for the sun saw everything. Warriors prayed to Mithra before battle, not for violence, but for courage. Farmers prayed to him in the fields, not for wealth, but for the steady glow that ripened grain. The sun's golden eye gave both justice and peace, strength and rest. In its warmth, the people felt protected, guided by a force both near and eternal. Further east, in Vedic hymns, the sun was praised as Surya. He rode in a chariot drawn by radiant horses, sweeping across the endless sky. His light was not only for the earth, but also for the spirit. For to look upon Surya was to remember life's inner glow, the flame within each heart. Imagine the chariot, wheels glimmering as they turn across the sky. Horses gallop with manes of fire, yet their movement is silent, like breath itself. The chariot never falters, never rests. It brings light, without asking, without fail. Each day, the gift is renewed. The Vedic singers lifted their voices at dawn, not only to greet the rising sun, but to awaken their own inner fire. For they knew the outer sun and the inner sun were reflections of each other. Both needed to rise, both needed to shine. Among the Greeks, the sun was called Helios. He, too, drove a shining chariot across the heavens, crowned with fire, his eyes glowing with daylight. Every morning he emerged from the east. Every evening he sank in the west, slipping beneath the horizon to sail the hidden waters of night. The Greeks saw the sun as witness. Nothing could escape his gaze. He saw the acts of gods and mortals alike, silently watching, silently recording. To live beneath his gaze was to know that light and truth were always near. Later, the Romans called him Sol Invictus, the unconquered sun. Even in the darkest winters, when days grew short and cold, the sun would return. Its power could never be broken, never overcome. The golden eye would always open again. In the temples of the Aztecs, the sun was life itself. They told of Tonatiuh, the sun god, who demanded offerings to keep his fire alive. Though fierce, his light was sacred. It kept the world turning, crops growing, rivers flowing. Without the sun's eye, the great wheel of existence would fall into stillness. For them, every sunrise was not only a gift, but also a victory, a reminder that the world still continued, that the balance of darkness and light was still upheld. The sun's golden face lit the great pyramids, its rays washing the stone in fire, as if the heavens kissed the earth in blessing. So many names, so many lands, yet always the same golden circle in the sky. It is the first fire, the endless eye, the eternal traveler. In myth, it sails. In song, it shines. In silence, it simply rises. The sun carries within it the story of eternity. Each day, it falls. Each day, It returns. Each night it slips into shadow, yet always it comes again with warmth and light. It is death and rebirth, told not in words but in radiance. Close your eyes now and feel the warmth of the sun upon your skin. Imagine it not harsh, not burning, but soft and golden. It wraps around you like a cloak. It shines through you, gentle and steady. The golden eye does not judge. It only watches. It only gives. It does not ask for anything in return. It simply shines, because shining is its nature. The ancients knew this truth, that the sun, in its silence, teaches. It tells us to rise again, even after we fall. It tells us to share light, without asking for reward. It tells us that every ending is only the beginning of another dawn. Now the day drifts slowly forward. Shadows shrink, fields glow, rivers gleam like glass. The golden eye is high above, calm and eternal. It sees kings in palaces, children in villages, wanderers on roads. It sees seeds pushing through soil, flowers opening their petals, animals stirring in the wild. Nothing is hidden, everything is touched, and yet, as time flows, the eye begins to soften. Afternoon passes into evening. The light stretches longer, gentler, as though preparing for sleep. The golden rays turn amber, then crimson, then violet. The sun lowers itself once more into the horizon, closing its radiant eye for the night, but the ancients always trusted. They knew it would rise again. The cycle was never broken. The eye always reopened, shining once more. Rest now, under its memory. The golden warmth still lingers. Even as night returns, the sun's eye may close, but its light remains within you, a small fire, steady and quiet, burning in the heart. As you drift into sleep, think of that warmth, the gentle rays upon your face, the promise of dawn waiting beyond the horizon, and know that, like the sun, you too may rest, and you too will rise again. Now the world grows softer, the sky darkens. Stars emerge like scattered jewels. The golden eye has closed for the night, but its gift is eternal. Let us drift onward, into the next dream. Night has fallen. The horizon glows faintly with the last memory of the sun, fading into deep blue. One by one, stars awaken, delicate lanterns scattered across the sky. And there, rising slow, calm and silent, comes the moon, a silver circle, soft and gentle, taking its place above the sleeping world. The air feels cooler now. The warmth of the day has passed. Shadows stretch long and quiet, while the sound of the earth changes. Crickets sing in rhythm. Leaves whisper with the breath of the wind. The world has shifted into a softer tone, and the moon lights the path of dreams. For the ancients, the moon was never only a stone in the sky. It was alive, radiant and mysterious. It guided lovers in gardens, sailors on the sea, shepherds in the fields, and wanderers in the desert. It was a lantern for those who traveled, a mirror for those who dreamed, and a guardian for those who slept. In Greece, she was Selene, the goddess of the moon. She drove a silver chariot across the heavens, her hair flowing like white fire, her face shining with quiet grace. When she looked down upon the earth, it was said she carried love in her gaze. Her light did not burn like the sun. It soothed, it comforted, it kissed the dark with softness. Selene was often imagined visiting her beloved Endymion, a mortal who lay in eternal sleep. Each night, she descended with tenderness, watching him rest, and touching his face with her glow. In this myth, the moon became not only a light in the sky, but also a symbol of gentle devotion, of watching over those who dream. In Rome, the moon was called Luna. Temples were raised in her honor, and her image was carved into stone. Priests lit fires when she rose, calling upon her silver blessing. Luna's cycle, her waxing and waning, was a clock for the ancients. The crescent marked beginnings, the full circle marked fullness, and the darkened moon marked endings and renewal. For farmers, her light told when to plant and when to harvest. For women, her phases echoed the rhythms of the body. For travelers, her glow across the fields and roads brought safety in the night. She was time itself, flowing in silence, measured not by hours but by light. In the myths of Egypt, The moon shone with the power of Khonsu, the traveler. He moved across the night sky as a healer, a guardian, and a guide. His light was thought to bring health, to chase away darkness, to renew the spirit. He was painted with the lunar disk upon his head, glowing like a jewel of the heavens. The priests of Khonsu would whisper prayers to him during nights of need. They believed his silver radiance carried away sickness, carried away fear. Even in stillness he was moving, circling the heavens, lighting the earth in his journey. Far in the east, the people of China told stories of Chang'e, the moon goddess. Her tale was one of longing, of love that reached beyond the earth. It is said she drank the elixir of immortality and drifted upward, leaving her beloved Haoyi behind. Her figure became part of the moon's glow, and so she waits in the heavens watching, waiting, shining upon the world below. During the Mid-Autumn Festival, families look up at the full moon and remember her story. They light lanterns, eat sweet cakes, and share dreams under her silver light. The moon is not distant in this telling, but near, personal, a reminder that love, though apart, is never truly gone. The Aztecs too told of the moon as Coyolxauhqui, the starry goddess with bells upon her cheeks. She was painted in great stone carvings, her image radiant with mystery. For them, the moon carried power both gentle and fierce. It was beauty, but it was also strength. The strength to move tides, to shape waters, to guide the very rhythm of the world. Wherever people lifted their eyes, the moon was there, always changing, always the same. A circle that grew, shrank, and disappeared, only to return again. It was eternity written in silver, a mirror of time, a path of cycles. For lovers, it was a companion. For sailors, it was a compass. For poets, it was an endless muse. For dreamers, it was a door to another world. Close your eyes now, and imagine walking along a quiet shore. The waves move slowly, their edges glowing silver beneath the moonlight. Each step you take leaves a soft mark in the sand, and the tide gently washes it away. Above, the moon shines down, round and calm, as though it is guiding your steps. The night feels endless, yet safe. The air cool, yet gentle. The moonlight smooths the world, softening every edge, making every shadow kind. You walk on. Following the silver path the moon lays across the water, it stretches far into the horizon, a bridge between the earth and the sky. You cannot reach it, but you feel its presence, pulling your heart into stillness, into peace. The ancients often saw the moon as a mirror. It reflects the sun's fire, yet turns it into calm. It takes brightness and reshapes it into comfort. So too can the heart reflect light, reshaping it into kindness, into peace. The moon whispers, not in words but in glow. It tells you that all things move in cycles. Darkness comes, yet it is never final. The crescent grows, the circle returns. Every shadow is followed by light. Now the night deepens. Stars shimmer more brightly, like jewels around the moon's silver crown. The air grows quieter, the world gentler. The moon hangs above, steady in her rhythm, steady in her care. She watches the oceans, pulling tides in and out, steady as breath. She watches the fields, where animals sleep beneath her glow. She watches the hearts of dreamers, resting in their silence. The moon has no need for praise, no need for offerings. She simply shines. She simply moves. Her gift is her presence. Her gift is her light. And now, as you drift into your own night of rest, think of her silver path. It winds through water, through sky, through memory. It leads not to endings, but to quiet returns. Every night she rises, every dawn she fades, yet always she returns again, patient, eternal, serene. Let her light guide you, as it guided so many before. Sailors on waves, lovers in gardens, dreamers under stars. Now it guides you into calmness, into dreams. The silver path stretches before you, endless, gentle, and safe. Rest now under her watchful glow. The moon will keep her vigil. She will carry you through the night. Let us drift onward, softly, silently, upon the moon's silver path. The night has deepened. The moon drifts higher, her silver path glowing across fields and waters. But above her, beyond her gentle light, lies a greater ocean, a sky filled with stars, endless, countless. each one a small flame, a quiet voice, a memory of the eternal. The world below falls into stillness. Villages grow silent. Fires turn to embers. Travelers lie upon their cloaks, gazing upward, for in the vast black sea above, the ancients saw more than light. They saw order. They saw messages. They saw crossroads, where the mortal met the divine. The stars were the first maps. Before ink was pressed into parchment, before compasses turned upon their needles, people lifted their eyes to the heavens. The sky became a guide. The Met constellations became signposts. Orion, rising meant winter had come. The Pleiades fading meant spring was near. The Milky Way stretched across the night like a river of fire, a road for spirits, a bridge between here and beyond. Sailors followed it across oceans. Nomads followed it across deserts. Priests followed it into mysteries of fate. The stars were not silent to them. They were letters, scattered but precise, a sacred text written upon the dark. In Greece, the stars were shaped into myth. Orion the hunter, bow drawn, stride eternal. Cassiopeia, proud queen upon her throne. Perseus with his sword raised high, each figure a story, frozen in the heavens, never ending, never fading. When people looked upward, they saw not just points of light. They saw the echoes of gods and heroes, forever set as reminders. The sky was memory, stretched wide across eternity. It told them who they were and who they might become. The Egyptians too read the stars with reverence. For them, the heavens were the body of Nut, the sky goddess, her arms arched above the world. Stars glimmered across her skin like jewels upon a living canvas. The rising of Sirius, the brightest star, marked the flooding of the Nile. It was no mere light, it was a promise. The river would rise, fields would drink, life would return again. Temples were built in alignment with stars. Stone doorways framed constellations at sacred times of year. Priests watched the sky night after night, not with boredom, but with awe. Each shimmer carried meaning. Each movement was divine rhythm. In Mesopotamia, the stars were read as omens. The priests of Babylon watched them with devotion, recording their dances in clay. To them, planets were wandering stars, signs of great events. The sky was a tablet written by the gods themselves, and human eyes were meant to read it. The constellation of Leo marked power. The balance of Libra marked justice. The fish of Pisces carried streams of abundance. Every arrangement was a whisper of destiny, a thread in the weaving of life. The people of the Andes told of the dark constellations, not stars, but shadows in the Milky Way's light. A serpent, a llama, a mother with her child, all formed by the spaces between. They saw what was hidden, the shapes carved out of absence. For them, even darkness held meaning. Even emptiness was alive. In the north, the Great Bear guided wanderers. The 7 stars of its body pointed to the pole, steady and fixed, a constant in the turning heavens. The Norse told of Yggdrasil, the world tree, whose branches reached into the stars. Each cluster of light was a realm, each flicker a doorway to another world. Everywhere, in every land, the stars were crossroads. They linked time to eternity. They linked mortals to gods. They linked the earth to the unseen. When a traveler stood at night, lost on the road, the stars showed the way. When a priest stood in prayer, seeking a sign, the stars gave answers. When a poet lifted his gaze, searching for words, the stars gave silence. Yet in silence, song. Close your eyes and imagine lying upon cool grass. The earth supports you. The night air breathes over you. Above, the sky opens vast and endless. The stars shine without effort. They do not strain. They do not compete. Each burns in its own rhythm, its own place, yet together they form patterns that guide the soul. Look upon Orion's belt. 3 stars, bright and close, aligned in harmony. See the curve of the scorpion, its tail sharp yet elegant. See the arc of the swan, wings stretched wide across the Milky Way. The longer you gaze, the more you see. Shapes emerge, stories appear. It is as though the heavens themselves are speaking, but speaking in dreams, not in words. The ancients believed that each star might also be a spirit, the soul of the departed, set in the sky to shine forever. In this way, no one was lost, every life was remembered. Every heart became part of the night's crown. Some said the stars were lamps carried by angels. Some said they were fires burning upon distant mountains of the heavens. Some said they were eyes, watching with kindness. Whatever the vision, the feeling was the same. The night was not empty. It was full. It was alive. Now, the stars stretch above you, their crossroads spread in every direction. Some paths lead east, some west. Some lead into memory, some into hope. Some lead into silence, some into song. But there is no rush to choose. The stars are patient. They have waited for eternity. They will wait still. Their glow touches your skin, faint but certain. Their light enters your breath, calm and steady. Their presence wraps you in vastness, reminding you that you belong to something endless. The constellations turn slowly. A great wheel above. Hours pass, but they do not hurry. The wheel will turn again tomorrow, and again, the day after. This rhythm is eternal. It is the rhythm of sleep. It is the rhythm of rest. The stars do not fall into dreams. They carry dreams. They carry them across oceans, across mountains, across centuries. Every dream is lifted into their care, to be returned when the heart is ready. Let your mind drift with them now. Follow the Milky Way as though it is a river of light. See its currents move, sparkling infinite. Let it carry you beyond the horizon, where silence deepens and stillness grows. At the crossroads of stars, there is no fear, only guidance, only gentle direction, only the reminder that you are never alone in the night. The constellations begin to fade as dawn approaches. One by one, the stars bow into the morning. Their messages remain. Though their light softens, they will return again, faithful as breath. Now rest. As the stars return to their hidden chambers, let their crossroads linger in your heart, quiet and sure. The night has spoken in silver whispers. The heavens have written their song across your dreams. Drift onward, into silence, into stillness. As the stars close their eyes with you, night lingers softly. The winds are quiet. A hush falls over the land, as though the earth itself is breathing in calm rhythm. The stars above glimmer faintly, their silver eyes watching. The ground beneath feels steady, sure, alive with roots unseen. And at the center of this dream, there rises a tree. Not a single tree, but all sacred trees. Its trunk is vast, wide as a mountain. Its roots travel into the deep silence of the earth. Its branches reach the farthest skies, touching clouds, touching stars. The ancients called it the axis of the world, the pillar that joins below with above. The world tree, the tree of life. In the north, it was called Yggdrasil, the great ash tree, eternal and immense. Its roots drank from 3 sacred wells. One well held wisdom, one well held destiny, one well held the waters of memory. Upon its branches lived the eagle, vast and sharp-eyed keeper of the sky. At its roots curled the serpent, ancient and secret, keeper of the deep. Between them ran a squirrel, carrying whispers, carrying words, carrying news between high and low, for Yggdrasil was alive with voices. Birds sang in its crown, creatures hid in its bark. We walked upon its roots. The tree was not only wood and leaf. It was a map of existence. It was the bridge of all realms. Far to the east, under gentler skies, another tree was cherished, the Bodhi tree, beneath which a prince sat in stillness until he awakened. Its leaves, heart-shaped, shimmered in the breeze like quiet bells. As they swayed, they seemed to whisper, whispers of patience, whispers of truth, whispers of freedom. Under its branches, time dissolved. The world faded into silence. Only breath remained, only the soft pulse of life. And in that stillness, wisdom bloomed. The Bodhi tree was not only shelter, it was a companion to awakening, a witness to peace. In Mesopotamia, the tree appeared as the tree of life, guarded by divine beings. Its roots tapped into the waters of the underworld. Its crown reached to the palace of the heavens. At its center, it carried the secret of balance. Kings sought its blessing. Priests wove its image into their tablets. It was drawn not as shadow, but as light. Its branches curved like rivers. Its fruit glowed like stars. Among the Maya, there was the ceiba tree. Its trunk rose straight and tall, white against the sky. Its roots spread into the underworld. Its branches lifted into the heavens. The ceiba was the world axis, a stairway of spirit. Upon its boughs, birds carried prayers. Upon its roots, serpents coiled with secrets. It was the meeting place of realms, where life flowed in all directions. In every land, the sacred tree returned different names, different leaves, different stories. Yet, always the same truth. The tree joined what was below with what was above, the unseen with the seen, the earth with the sky. Close your eyes now, and imagine walking through a forest. The path is soft beneath your feet. Leaves whisper as they fall. The air is cool, carrying scents of moss and bark. In the clearing ahead, a tree rises taller than all others. Its roots are wide, half buried, half shown. They look like rivers of wood flowing into the ground. You place your hand upon them. They are warm, alive, steady. The trunk rises upward, smooth yet strong. You tilt your gaze higher and higher, until branches spread across the sky like arms embracing the night. Some branches hold fruit, some hold blossoms, some simply stretch in stillness, reaching far beyond what eyes can see. The tree holds many gifts. Its roots give water, its trunk gives shade, its fruit gives nourishment, its leaves fall gently, turning to soil, giving life again. It teaches without words. It gives without asking. It stands without fear. The ancients looked upon trees as bridges, but also as teachers. They saw in them the cycle of life. Blossom, fruit, falling leaf, winter sleep, spring return. So too, they said, are the rhythms of the soul. Moments of growth, moments of letting go, moments of rest, moments of renewal. In some stories, the world tree was struck by storms, its branches broken, its bark scarred, yet it endured, it healed, it grew again. From wounds came strength, from loss came deeper roots, and so the tree taught patience. The tree taught endurance. The tree taught hope. Listen now to the quiet rustle of its leaves. Each leaf is like a small flame, swaying gently in the wind. Each leaf carries a prayer, a memory, a dream. Some leaves are yours, some belong to others, yet all shimmer together, part of one canopy. Beneath this tree, the air feels different, calmer, slower. Like time itself bows to its stillness. Your breath falls in rhythm with its branches swaying. Your body feels supported, as though you too have roots deep within the earth. The sacred tree also teaches connection. Its roots drink from hidden waters. Its branches drink from hidden light. It joins what seems apart. It shows that nothing is alone, that all things touch, that life is one great weaving, rising and falling, leaf by leaf, star by star. The tree does not rush. It does not worry. It grows in silence. It rests in winter, blooms in spring, and accepts both without fear. To lie beneath it is to remember this same peace within yourself. Now, let your mind rest in its shade. Imagine lying upon soft grass, your back against its roots. The bark at your side is rough but kind. Above, branches spread wide, sheltering you. The leaves sway gently, a lullaby of wind. In this place, there is no need to move. The tree holds all stillness. The earth holds all weight. The sky holds all vastness. And you are safe, at the center of it all. The night deepens further. Stars peer through the branches like distant blossoms of light. Owls call softly from far away. A cool breeze stirs, then stills again. Everything breathes together. Everything drifts together. The tree stands watch, as it always has. It has watched over kings and beggars. It has watched over prayers and silences. It has watched over birth and death. It will watch still, steady, unshaken. Let yourself rest now. In its presence, feel its roots anchoring. You feel its branches sheltering you. Feel its spirit surrounding you. A bridge between below and above, a quiet teacher of peace. The sacred tree holds you in its silence. It asks for nothing. It gives everything. It stands eternal. Let us drift onward, carried by its shade. Now rest as the stars return, and the sacred tree keeps watch. The night is quiet. The stars move slowly, as if carried by an unseen tide. The air feels gentle, like the hush of a prayer. And in this stillness, you drift once more into the dream of stories where ancient voices murmur softly, guiding you toward rest. Before you rises a spiral. It is not drawn in ink or carved in stone, but made of light. It winds outward, wide and calm, circling endlessly. The spiral feels familiar, as though you have walked it before in another time, another life. Step by step, you move along its path, and with each turn, the past and the future melt together like waves blending on the shore. Long ago, people watched the heavens. They saw the sun rise, the moon fade, the stars shift across seasons. They noticed that nothing was ever still, yet nothing was ever truly lost. Day became night, winter gave way to spring, and they understood. Time was not a line but a circle, winding ever outward like a spiral drawn upon the earth. On the cliffs of Ireland, in the heart of Newgrange, spirals were carved into ancient stone. The people who carved them are long gone, yet the lines remain. 3 spirals touch one another, curling inward like the tides of the ocean. To them, these spirals were more than symbols. They were doorways into the rhythm of life, the rhythm of breath, the rhythm of the sun's return after the longest night. When winter wrapped the world in darkness, they gathered in the chamber. At dawn, a thin ray of sunlight would pierce through the entrance and strike the spiral carvings deep within. It was as though the sun itself had been waiting, patient, to remind them that light always returns. And so the spiral became a promise, the turning of time, the unfurling of life, the ever-widening circle of being. Far away, under the great skies of Central America, the Mayans traced spirals of their own. Their calendars were not just marks of days, but maps of eternity. They saw time as a great wheel turning, one age flowing into another, spiraling into cycles without end. To them, the spiral was the heartbeat of creation. The sun itself followed a spiral path, rising and falling, returning to its place. The moon swelled and faded, never lost, only changing shape. The stars moved in long, graceful spirals across the sky, keeping a rhythm older than memory. And so they watched, and they listened. Each circle of the spiral was sacred. Each turn carried both ending and beginning, death and rebirth, silence and song. Time was not a straight path that vanished behind you. It was a spiral that held you, wrapping you gently into its pattern, carrying you forward without tearing you from the past. Imagine now that you are walking slowly across a field of soft grass. The night is cool. The moon shines pale silver above. Before you, traced in stones upon the earth, lies a spiral path. You begin at its edge, each step quiet and light. The path curls inward, turning again and again. You feel your breath slowing. You feel your mind easing into stillness. Each step draws you closer to the center. This is the spiral as a journey. Many people across the world walk such paths in labyrinths, in sacred gardens, in circles of stone. They walked not to reach a destination, but to feel the turning of time in their bodies, in their hearts. Each curve of the spiral was a breath. Each turn was a reminder that life moves not in haste, but in patient circles. At the center, they would pause, listening to the silence, then walk back outward again, carrying with them the calm of the center. For the spiral always brings you inward, to stillness before carrying you outward again, renewed. In Greece, philosophers spoke of time in spirals as well. They called it eternal return, the belief that all things would circle back again, just as the stars did. It was not a circle that trapped, but a spiral that unfolded, each return slightly wider, each turn slightly new. The world was not repeating itself, but deepening, as though each life, each age, was another ring in the great spiral of being. In India, the spiral was seen in the dance of the cosmos, the turning of galaxies, the curl of a shell, the coiling of the serpent kundalini rising upward through the body. All were spirals, all were pathways of energy, winding and unwinding. Time itself was felt not as a line that disappears, but as a wheel turning, as a spiral blooming, as a lotus opening one petal after another. Look around, and you may see spirals everywhere. The soft curl of a fern unfurling at dawn, the delicate whirl of a seashell resting by the shore, the endless spiral of waves curling upon the sand, the galaxies above, each one a vast spiral of stars carrying suns and planets in graceful arcs through eternity. Even within, your breath follows a spiral rhythm, inward and outward, a quiet curve of life sustaining you with each turn. Your heartbeat, steady and calm, echoes the same eternal rhythm. You are not outside of the spiral. You are part of it. You carry its pattern within you, just as the stars carry it above you. And so, the spiral teaches us. It whispers that life is not hurried, that what feels lost will return in another form, that each ending is only the curve leading to a new beginning. The spiral asks us to trust the turning, to rest in the rhythm, to let ourselves be carried as gently as a leaf floating on a stream. As you drift deeper into the spiral, you feel lighter. Each turn softens you, each curve soothes you. Time itself feels less like a measure and more like a song, slow and tender. You are not pushed forward. You are carried. You are not lost in the past. You are woven into the endless unfolding. Now, the spiral before you begins to glow with soft light. It curls outward into the stars, upward into the sky. It carries you beyond the edge of the earth, where galaxies turn like vast seashells in the dark. You float among them, weightless, unhurried, at peace. The stars spiral around you, slow and silent. They remind you that time is not a prison, but a path, that you are never behind, never ahead. You are always exactly where you are meant to be, turning with the great rhythm of the universe. The spiral hums with quiet song. It is the song of ages, the song of suns rising, moons fading, tides breathing in and out. It is the same song within your chest, the same rhythm in your breath. You rest inside it, held like a note in an endless melody, and slowly, the spiral fades. It softens into mist, into dream, into silence. The field of grass returns. The night sky stretches above you, calm and still. The path is gone, yet you feel its rhythm lingering within. You feel the peace of cycles, the comfort of return, the safety of endless turning. Now rest, as the spiral carries you deeper into quiet. Let time move gently, like circles upon water. Let each breath follow the curve of the eternal rhythm. The spirals of time will hold. You, the spirals of time will guide. You, the spirals of time will lull you into sleep. Drift onward now, carried by their endless turning, and as the stars return above, let yourself rest in their spiral song. The night unfolds around you like a soft cloak. The air is calm, touched with the coolness of hidden streams. Stars hang above, steady and quiet, like lanterns guiding a pilgrim's way. In the stillness, you drift gently into another story, another dream of the soul. A path lies before you now, winding, ancient, slow. It is a labyrinth. The labyrinth is not a puzzle. It is not made to trick, nor to confuse. It is a path, single and unbroken, curving inward, leading patiently to the center, and then, from the center, it leads outward again. It has no walls to trap, no corners to hide, only the long rhythm of walking, step by step, turn by turn. It is a mirror of the heart. It is the journey of the soul. Across the world, people have walked such paths, on stones carved by Celtic hands, on marble floors of cathedrals in France, on dust-worn ground where pilgrims traced the shape with bare feet. Every culture gave it meaning, yet all meanings shared a gentle truth. The labyrinth was a place to slow down, to listen, to find stillness within. Imagine yourself at the edge of such a path. The moonlight falls across its curves, silver and soft. The air is hushed. You take a step forward. The path turns right, then left, then circles back. It seems to wander, yet it never loses you. Each step carries you deeper inward. Your breath falls into rhythm with the turns. Your mind begins to soften, as though lulled by a cradle song. The ancient Greeks told stories of the labyrinth of Crete. They spoke of a vast maze, guarded, mysterious, with a secret waiting within. But beyond the myth of monsters and heroes, the labyrinth symbolized the inward path of the soul. It was the long journey toward truth, winding through shadows and light, leading to the quiet center where fear dissolves. Yet here, in this gentle night, there are no monsters waiting, only silence, only calm, only the soft glow of the center calling you closer. In the medieval cathedrals of Europe, labyrinths were set into the stone floors. The faithful walked them when they could not travel to holy lands far away. Step by step, they made pilgrimage within the walls of their own city, within the walls of their own heart. They carried prayers in their breath, questions in their silence, and found answers not in words, but in the rhythm of walking. At Chartres Cathedral in France, the great labyrinth still lies upon the floor. Its stones are worn smooth by centuries of feet. To walk it was to journey toward the divine, to move slowly inward until the center opened like a still pond. And there, in that silence, the heart found peace. Beyond Europe, too, the labyrinth appeared. Among native peoples of the American deserts, the pattern was drawn as the man in the maze. It told the story of life itself, each turn a choice, each bend a lesson. The center was wisdom, the moment of harmony with all that is. The labyrinth was not something to escape. It was something to enter, to walk with patience, to accept as part of life's unfolding. In India, temple courtyards sometimes held winding paths of stone or sand. They echoed the same truth, that by walking in circles, the spirit unwound the straight lines of worry, the restless grip of thought. The labyrinth was not outside the body, it was within the body, within the breath, within the soul. Now picture the labyrinth again beneath your feet. You walk slowly, calmly. The path folds back on itself, winding close to the center, then away again. It feels as though it plays with time, delaying, inviting patience. You cannot rush it. There are no shortcuts. Every curve must be walked, every turn must be taken. And in this patient walking, the heart begins to settle. The labyrinth teaches that life cannot be hurried, that what seems like delay is still part of the path, that every turn, even the ones that seem to lead away, are guiding you gently inward. The way is not lost. It is simply longer than the eye can see. At last, you arrive at the center. It is open, round, still, like the quiet space of dawn before the sun rises, like the pause between breaths. Here the labyrinth becomes stillness. Here the journey rests. In many traditions, the center was a place of prayer, of release, of deep listening. People knelt there, or stood in silence, or simply breathed. It was not about arriving at treasure or triumph. It was about arriving at peace. The center of the labyrinth was the center of the self. And here you rest as well, breathing slowly, softly, calmly. When the time comes, the path carries you outward again, step by step, turn by turn. You walk back into the world, but you are changed. The outward path is not the same as the inward path. It is the same stones, the same curves, yet your heart has softened. You carry the stillness of the center with you. You carry the silence of the labyrinth within. And this, too, was always its lesson, that you need not remain in sacred chambers or far temples. The labyrinth is not only in stone, it is within you, each breath a turn, each heartbeat a step, each thought a curve that brings you closer to your center. If only you walk it gently. Across the night, the image of the labyrinth begins to dissolve. The stones blur. The curves melt into mist. What remains is the memory of walking, the rhythm of slow steps, the calm of arriving. That memory lingers like a candle flame in the dark. It flickers within your chest, soft, steady, eternal. The labyrinth is not behind you. It lives within you now. It is your own heart, winding and unfolding, patient and unbroken. It will guide you whenever you need to return to stillness. Now, rest in this truth. The labyrinth within you is always open. Its path is always waiting. Its center is always calm. Let your breath follow its gentle turns. Let your thoughts move like quiet steps. Let your body sink into the center of rest. The night is deep. The stars are steady, and the labyrinth has guided you home. Now drift onward as the path softens into dream. Now rest as the stars return. The night is soft. A hush rests over the land, as though the earth itself breathes in silence. The stars drift slowly above, silver eyes watching from the deep sky. A path stretches before you, gentle and glowing with faint starlight. At its end stands a great gate, and beside that gate, ancient guardians wait. They are not fierce. They are not cruel. They are steady. They are eternal. They are the keepers of thresholds, protectors of passage, guardians of what lies within. Throughout the old worlds, gates were never left bare. They were marked, watched, and guarded. To pass from one realm into another was no small step, and so guardians were placed at the doors of temples, palaces, gardens, and shrines, not to frighten, but to remind, to whisper, pause, and honor this crossing. In Mesopotamia, lions carved from stone flanked the temple entrances. They crouched with strength in their shoulders, their eyes wide and still. The lion was not only a beast of the desert, it was the symbol of courage, of protection, of fierce love for what is sacred. No evil was believed to pass under their watch, and those who entered with pure hearts felt no fear at their gaze. In Egypt, sphinxes lined the avenues that led to holy temples, their bodies of lions. Their faces of kings or gods gazed endlessly across the sands. They were mysteries carved in silence, neither fully human nor fully animal. To walk the path between them was to walk in reverence. Each step carried you closer to the temple, closer to the presence of the divine. The sphinxes stood not as obstacles, but as guides, reminders that the sacred is approached with respect, with stillness, with awe. In China, stone lions were set at the gates of palaces and gardens. They were called shishi, the lion protectors. One rested with a ball beneath its paw, symbol of the world, the other with a cub, symbol of life's continuation. Together, they balanced power with care, strength with nurture. They guarded the threshold not only with force, but with harmony. And in other lands, dragons curled around doorways, their scaled bodies protecting treasures unseen. They were symbols of power, wisdom, and transformation. Though their shapes inspired awe, their meaning was clear. To cross the threshold is to be changed. Imagine now that you stand before such a gate. The guardians rest on either side. Perhaps they are lions, carved from stone yet alive with spirit. Perhaps they are sphinxes, their eyes holding riddles of time. Perhaps dragons coil in silence, their scales glimmering in the moonlight. They do not move. They do not roar. They only watch. Their gaze is steady, as though they look not at your body, but at your spirit. They do not ask for words. They do not ask for offerings. They ask only for presence, a breath of stillness, a heart of calm. You step closer. The air at the threshold is heavy, yet gentle. It feels like standing at the shore of the sea, where one element ends and another begins. The guardians mark this crossing. They remind you that to enter is to leave something behind. The noise, the worry, the weight of the day, all must be set down before you pass within, and so you breathe. You let the weight slip from your shoulders. You let your thoughts quiet. You let your heart grow still. The guardians watch, and in their silence you feel safe. In myths, such guardians did not merely protect buildings, they stood at deeper thresholds, between worlds, between life and death, between mortal and divine. In Mesopotamian tales, Lamassu with wings and lion bodies stood as protectors at city gates, guiding not just travelers, but the fate of whole nations. In Egyptian belief, great beasts watched the passage of souls into the next life, ensuring balance and truth. And in many cultures, serpents and dragons curled at the entrances of caves, gateways to the underworld, to hidden treasure or to deep wisdom. To face them was to face oneself. To step forward was to trust that the heart carried enough light to pass through. The guardians remind us of a truth. Every threshold requires reverence, even the smallest ones. The doorway of a temple, the crossing, from day into night, the shift from waking into sleep, all are gates, all are passages, and at each, invisible guardians watch. They are not creatures of stone here. They are the gentle pauses between breaths, the softening of the body as it lies in rest, the hush of the room as silence deepens. These are the guardians of your own threshold, watching as you pass from thought into dream. Picture again the gate before you. The guardians rise on either side, timeless and calm. They do not bar the way. They welcome the reverent. Their strength is not to keep you out, but to keep you safe within. They whisper of courage, of patience, of stillness. They whisper of the power of crossing with care. You step forward, and the gate opens. The guardians bow their silent heads, and you pass through. Within lies a garden of calm, wide and quiet beneath the stars. You feel the stillness settle into your chest, like a warm light. The guardians remain behind you, watching, keeping the threshold safe. Let this image linger as you drift. The gate is always there, waiting in the quiet of your heart. The guardians are always there, steady and eternal, reminding you to pause, to breathe, to honor the crossing. Whether it is the crossing into dream or the gentle thresholds of your days, they keep watch. Now, rest in their presence. Let the lions lie still beside you. Let the sphinx gaze into the stars above. You. Let the dragons coil quietly in the deep night. They are all guardians of the same truth. You are safe as you pass. Within, the night deepens, the stars return, the gate stands open, and the guardians keep watch. Now drift onward as silence guides you. Now rest. As the guardians at the gate hold their eternal vigil, the night is quiet. The stars rest above, steady in their silver watch. The earth breathes softly, as if all the world is waiting for the tender glow of a sacred flame. You find yourself walking toward it now. A small shrine, hidden in folds of stone, rests at the heart of the desert. The sand is cool beneath your feet. The wind moves gently like a whispering prayer. At the doorway, a lamp flickers. Its light bends and sways, calling you closer. Step by step, you enter the hush. Within the shrine, there is only stillness. Stone walls hold the night at bay. A low fire burns at the center, steady and alive, yet calm, like a heart beating in silence. Its glow paints the chamber in soft amber. Shadows stretch slowly, as if bowing in reverence. This is the sacred fire, the flame of purification, the breath of spirit carried in light. It has burned in countless temples, watched by priests and keepers. It has shone in the deep caves of ancestors, in the desert sanctuaries of Zoroastrian temples, in mountain shrines where travelers left offerings. Always the same, always alive. The flame is not fierce, it is not wild, it does not roar or rage, it dances gently, like a teacher of patience. Every flicker is a lesson, every spark a reminder. Long ago, the fire was seen as the purest of all elements. Water could be stirred, earth could be broken, wind could be turned aside, but flame was alive. It could not be touched without change. It could not be held without respect. It cleansed without words, transforming all that was given to it. A branch placed within the fire did not die. It became light, warmth, and rising smoke. A prayer whispered into the fire did not fade. It rose upward, carried on glowing breath, like an offering to the heavens. The old keepers of fire tended it through day and night. They cleaned the space around it, with soft hands. They fed it only with pure wood, untouched, unsullied. For to give the fire what was broken or spoiled would be to invite shadows, and the fire deserved only truth. In return, it gave light to the soul and warmth to the body. You sit before it now. The glow touches your face, wrapping you in gentle radiance. You feel no fear here, no rush, no urgency, only the quiet rhythm of flame. In the Zoroastrian temples, fire was called the eye of Ahura Mazda, the sacred gaze of the divine. To look into its glow was to look into truth itself, not a truth of words, not a truth of judgment, but a truth of presence. That which burns cannot lie. That which shines cannot be hidden. The fire reveals what is, nothing more, nothing less. Imagine now that you lift a small twig from the ground beside you. Its wood is dry, light as breath. You place it gently into the flame. It catches slowly, glowing, then softening into ember. The air smells faintly sweet. Smoke rises, curling upward like a spirit returning home. In that moment, you too are purified. The worries of the day become like dry twigs placed in the fire, released into smoke. They do not vanish in fear. They transform. They become warmth. They become light. They become part of something higher, freer, endless. In myths of many lands, fire has always been the sacred bridge. In the Vedic chants, fire was the messenger, carrying offerings from earth to heaven. In Greek stories, fire was the gift of Prometheus, stolen from the gods to awaken the human heart. In the hidden shrines of Persia, fire burned as eternal witness, never allowed to fade. Everywhere, fire was life, and life was fire. You breathe deeply. The warmth of the flame seems to reach into your chest, into your spirit. It burns away heaviness, but without pain. It clears the fog within the mind, leaving only a still lake of calm. Each flicker feels like a gentle hand brushing dust from your heart. Each glow feels like a blessing. Listen closely. Do you hear it? The fire speaks in the softest of voices. It crackles like distant rainfall. It whispers like old songs remembered. The flame is a hymn, repeating itself endlessly, yet never the same. You do not need to understand the words. You only need to rest in their rhythm. The ancients believed that fire was not only outside, but within. Every soul was a flame. Every heart carried its own light. The body itself was seen as a vessel, guarding the sacred fire of life. Breath fed the flame. Love gave it strength. When the flame dimmed, the spirit rose upward like smoke returning to the sky. And so, the fire you see before you is not only a shrine's flame. It is a mirror of your own light. It reminds you of the quiet fire within your chest, steady, patient, eternal. It is not fierce. It is not restless. It is calm, warm and enduring, always present even when unseen. Let the warmth settle deeper now. Feel it spread across your shoulders, loosening tension. Feel it drift into your arms, your hands, your fingers, softening them like melted wax. Feel it rest upon your chest, steady and slow, like the glow of an ember. Your breath is the bellows, feeding it gently. With each inhale, the flame grows steady. With each exhale, the flame glows softer but never fades. In many temples, the fire was called everlasting. It was never allowed to go dark. Even if the keepers left, they carried embers to relight it, so that the chain of flame was never broken. In this way, the flame was like memory, passed from one soul to another, like stories carried through time, like dreams passed from night to night, unbroken, unfailing, eternal. Think of your life in the same way. Every kindness you have, given as a spark. Every gentle word, a flicker of light. Every moment of compassion, a flame passed on. The world is brighter for it, though you may not always see it. The fire continues, carried in ways unseen, warming hearts you will never meet. Now, as you sit in the shrine, the flame grows softer. It does not fade, but it bends lower, calmer, like a candle nearing rest. The room is filled with golden hush. The shadows seem to bow even deeper. folding themselves into silence. Your body feels lighter, as though it too has become smoke, drifting, slow, gentle. The fire speaks one last time in its crackling hymn. It says, "All things are purified in time. All shadows become light when met with patience. All burdens are lifted when placed into the eternal flame." You rise slowly, leaving the small shrine behind. But the glow follows you. It lingers in your heart, steady and soft, like a lantern guiding you through the night. The desert air is cool again. The stars above shimmer as if they too were embers in a vast cosmic fire. The earth feels calm, quiet, at peace. Now, drift onward. Carry the warmth within you. Let the flame rest in your chest, safe and enduring. Sleep as though you too are a sacred fire, glowing quietly through the night. And when morning comes, let your first breath be a spark, pure and gentle, rising again. Rest now, the flame keeps its watch. The darkness is softened by its glow, and you are safe within its light. The night opens with stillness. Above, the moon rests in silver quiet. The air is cool, gentle, carrying the faint scent of wet earth. Far away, you hear the sound of water. It is slow, steady, flowing as though it has no beginning, no end. You drift toward it. Step by step, you move through soft shadows until the river comes into view. The surface glimmers beneath moonlight, like a path made of glass. It moves with calm grace, neither rushing nor pausing, simply flowing as it has for ages. This is no ordinary stream. This is sacred water. The breath of the earth, the memory of the divine. You kneel at its edge. The river greets you with a gentle murmur. Its ripples reach the shore as though stretching out a hand. You touch the water. It is cool, soothing, alive. It carries stories. It carries prayers. It carries all that has been whispered to it since the dawn of time. In the lands of Egypt, the Nile was the great giver. Its floods were not feared, but welcomed. For each year the waters rose and spread across the dry earth, leaving behind black soil rich with life. Grain grew where there had been dust. Villages thrived where once there was silence. The people called the Nile a god, a life-bringer, a parent of the land. To bathe in its water was to join the rhythm of rebirth. Far to the east, another river flowed, gentle yet mighty, the Ganges. The faithful called her mother. To step into her stream was to be cleansed, not only of dust, but of sorrow, of shadow. The water carried away what was heavy, leaving behind a spirit renewed. It was said that even a single drop could purify the heart, for the river was not only water, but blessing, and in other lands too, rivers carried prayers. In Greece, there was Lethe, the river of forgetting, where the soul laid down its burdens before entering rest. In Mesopotamia, the twin rivers, Tigris and Euphrates, shaped the cradle of life. In the north, rivers were thought to flow from the roots of the world tree, tying heaven, earth, and underworld together, always. Water was more than water. It was a bridge. It was renewal. You sit beside the river now, listening to its hymn. Each ripple is a note. Each curve is a verse. The song is endless, but never the same. The water speaks softly, saying, "All things move on, yet nothing is lost." You lean forward, cupping your hands. You lift the river's gift and let it flow over your head, over your shoulders. It cools you, quiets you, carries away the dust of the day. Your thoughts, heavy as stones, fall away into its depth. Your body feels lighter. Your spirit feels clear. Close your eyes and imagine stepping into the river fully now. The water embraces you, neither shallow nor deep, but just enough. It surrounds you with tenderness. Holding you as a parent holds a child. There is no weight here. The water carries you. You float like a leaf, drifting gently, without fear. Ancient ones believed rivers were the pathways of the soul. To enter the stream was to begin a journey, not a journey of distance, but a journey of becoming. Each drop that touched the skin was a blessing. Each current that moved around the body was a reminder. You are always being renewed. Think of how water shapes the world. Stone is hard, yet water wears it smooth. Mountains are vast, yet water carves valleys through them. It is patient, gentle, yet strong. It teaches without speaking. It shows that the softest things can hold the greatest power. You drift farther into the river now. The current is slow, kind, guiding you forward. The stars above reflect on the surface, so that it seems you are floating through the night sky itself. Each star is a memory. Each glimmer is a blessing returned. The water carries both heaven and earth within its flow. In Zoroastrian temples, water was honored as one of the purest creations, guarded from pollution, offered only clean vessels. In Celtic lands, wells and springs were seen as portals, places where healing spirits dwelled. In the high Himalayas, rivers were said to fall from the locks of Shiva, flowing down as sacred lifeblood. Wherever people lived, they bowed before water, knowing it was not only survival, but spirit. Now the river around you glows brighter in the moonlight. It feels as though it is alive. Aware, listening, you whisper into it, not with words, but with breath. You release what you carry, the old heaviness, the hidden worries, the shadows you no longer need. The water receives them all. Gently, without judgment, it carries them away, far, far downstream, until they are no more. In their place, the river gives you stillness. It gives you clarity. It gives you rest. Your heart feels like a calm lake. No ripples, no storms, only peace. Your breath falls into rhythm with the flow, slow and deep. There is a story told of a river that circles the world. It begins where the first dawn rose, and it flows through all lands, touching every shore, every life. It gathers prayers from all peoples, carrying them together in one song. When the river reaches the end of its path, it empties into a sea of light, where all prayers join as one, and from that sea, rain falls again, beginning the cycle anew. So it is with water, so it is with life. The current carries you onward now. You do not resist, you do not steer, you trust the flow. It moves you gently, as though the river knows the way. And indeed, it always has. For rivers have been flowing long before footsteps, long before words. They remember the path, they remember the return. The stars overhead seem to lean closer, as though watching your passage. Their light ripples on the surface, mingling with the water's glow. You are between earth and sky, carried by both, safe in their embrace. Your eyes grow heavy. Your body loosens, softened by the cradle of the stream. You drift without effort. You breathe without thought. The river carries you. The night holds you. Everything is gentle. Everything is calm. Soon, the current slows. The water grows shallow again. You feel the earth beneath your feet. You step forward, leaving the river, though its touch lingers on your skin like a blessing. You know it has carried something away from you. You know it has given something back. You feel lighter, clearer, at peace. The river moves on endlessly. It does not stop. It does not tire. It carries prayers. It carries life. It carries you. And so now, let yourself drift into rest. Feel the sacred waters flowing through your dreams. Feel the quiet current moving through your breath. You are part of the river, and the river is part of you. Now let us drift onward. Now rest. As the stars return to their watch, the sacred waters continue to flow, carrying you gently toward renewal, carrying you softly into sleep. The night has grown quiet. The winds have softened, moving like whispers through the trees. Above, the sky is wide, scattered with gentle stars. Their light falls faintly on the earth, tracing shapes, weaving patterns, forming symbols older than memory. Among them, you notice one form returning again and again. 3 points, 3 sides. A triangle, waiting in the stillness. It glimmers in shadow and light, in stone and flame, in story and breath. The triangle, the hidden shape, the ancient key. Threefold in its mystery, threefold in its harmony. You step deeper into this dream world. The ground beneath you feels soft, as though woven from moss and silence. A path unfolds ahead. It leads toward a temple. Its roof rises like a mountain peak, its entrance framed by 3 pillars, standing as guardians of balance. The doorway is lit by a triangle of fire, glowing steady, guiding the way. You step closer. The triangle waits for you. It invites you into its quiet wisdom. Long ago, people spoke of the power of three. It was said that two alone may oppose, but three find balance: day, night and dawn, birth, life and death, past, present, and future. The world itself seemed to rest upon this rhythm. Three was not just a number, it was a harmony. In Egypt, pyramids rose against the horizon, their sides leaning upward into perfect triangles, stone upon stone. Reaching for eternity, they were tombs, yes, but also prayers in shape. Their form echoed mountains, rays of the sun, ladders for the soul. Each line pointed toward the sky, yet all were joined at the base, rooted in the earth. The triangle united above and below, heaven and ground, mortal and divine. In distant lands, another vision of three appeared. In Christian faith, the Trinity was spoken of: Father, Son, and Spirit. Three faces, one essence, the mystery of unity and diversity. The triangle again, hidden within thought, drawn in prayer, carved into sacred art. Not three apart, but three as one, a circle of belonging. Even older still, in Vedic chants, the Trimurti sang of creation, preservation, and dissolution. Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva. Three forces, three currents of the cosmic river. Together they shaped the endless cycle, holding the universe in balance. Without one, the others could not exist. The triangle again, strong, eternal, unbroken. The triangle has always been more than geometry. It is balance, it is strength, it is the way. 3 points create a whole that will not fall. Even builders knew this. 3 sides create stability. Where 2 may fail, 3 corners support a weight without collapse. So too in spirit. 3 gives rest. Where 1 alone is burdened, you pause at the temple's threshold. The firelight dances in a triangular lamp. Its flames flicker, yet do not waver. You step inside. The chamber is quiet. Shadows rest against the walls. At the center lies a pattern carved into the floor, a triangle within a circle, 3 sides held by endlessness. It glows faintly, as though remembering the hands that drew it long. Ego, you sit before it. The symbol feels alive. It breathes with meaning. It hums with presence. The air grows softer. Your heart slows. Your breath deepens. In Celtic lands, the triskel appeared, 3 spirals joined at the center. It was a sign of motion, of cycles repeating, of eternal flow. Birth, death, rebirth, land, sea, sky, body, mind, spirit. Each spiral moving outward, yet always connected, always returning. The triangle again, not in stillness, but in turning, in flowing circles. In the east, the triangle was fire, its point rising upward, flame stretching toward the heavens. When turned downward, it became water, pouring its gift into the world. Together, they formed balance, 2 halves of the sacred whole. Fire and water, rising and falling, both contained in the 3 you. Look again at the glowing shape before you. The triangle feels familiar now. It is not far or foreign. It has been within you. Always? Think of your breath, 3 parts. The inhale, the pause, the exhale, a cycle complete, simple, eternal. Think of your being, body, heart, spirit, each part different, yet all one life, each leaning upon the other, forming a whole, like 3 sides, like 3 corners, strong and steady. The fire flickers again. You feel warmth settle in your chest. It is as though the triangle has moved from stone to spirit, resting within you. The threefold harmony takes root in your heart. It whispers balance. It whispers peace. Outside, the wind drifts softly against the temple walls. The stars shine through the open roof, forming their own triangles in the sky. 3 stars in Orion's belt, 3 points in the Pleiades. Cluster 3 lights marking directions across the sea. Travelers followed them. Priests prayed beneath them, the triangle above, guiding as it always has. You close your eyes. You see the form, glowing behind your lids. 3 points of light, 3 sides. Connecting, strong calm, balanced. The mystery of 3 does not demand answers. It does not ask for thought. It only offers presence. It only offers rest. Like a cradle with 3 supports, it holds you steady. Like a flame with 3 tongues, it warms you gently. Your body grows heavy now, your breath even, your spirit quiet. The triangle within keeps you steady. It does not break. It does not waver. It simply holds. Let yourself drift now. Imagine you are resting at the center of this hidden shape. 3 points stretch outward, forming a shelter of balance around you. Nothing can disturb you. Here, nothing can shake this stillness. You are held within the mystery of 3. You are safe. You are whole. The fire fades to embers. The stars remain above. The night deepens, and you rest, carried by the eternal balance of creation. Now let us drift onward. Now rest. As the stars return to their silent watch, the hidden triangle glows within you still, a soft flame of harmony, carrying you gently into sleep. The night has grown deeper. The air is still, wrapped in quiet shadows. Moonlight drifts across the ground like silver silk, and a hush rests over the dream world. Somewhere far away, a drum beats slowly, its sound soft as a heartbeat. It seems to call you forward, leading you into another story. Ahead, a flicker of light glows. Torches rise in a circle. Their flames bend gently in the night air. Between them, figures gather, each wearing a mask, painted wood. Carved stone, feathers, and gold shimmer in the firelight. The masks stare outward, calm and unmoving, yet behind them spirits wait. You pause, standing at the edge of this sacred circle. The masks are not for hiding, they are for revealing. In their painted eyes, gods look out. In their carved mouths, ancestors speak. The mask is a door, opening the human face to the divine. Long ago, people believed that when a mask was worn, a spirit could step inside. The mask became a vessel. The dancer no longer moved as themselves. They moved as the god, the ancestor, the creature of myth. The mask was a key, and when it was placed upon the face, the world changed. In Africa, wooden masks were carried into night dances. The flames of the fire lit their painted colors, their feathers, their shapes. The dancers moved in circles, their feet pounding dust into rhythm. With each step, the ancestors were honored. The mask gave them voice. The community felt the spirits near, breathing again through the wood. In ancient Greece, masks covered the faces of actors in stone amphitheaters, tragedy and comedy, the wide-open mouth, the frozen smile, the eternal frown. The mask turned one voice into many. The god Dionysus was said to walk through the plays, speaking through the chorus, hiding behind the masks. For a moment, the human became more than human. The story became sacred. In Japan, the no mask is carved so finely that it changes with light. A tilt of the head, and sorrow appears, a shadow across the brow, and joy returns. The mask breathes with mystery. The performer behind it seems still, yet the mask lives. It is said that the mask does not hide the soul. It releases it. In the Americas, masks of jaguar and eagle, serpent and sun were worn in festivals. Feathers brushed the sky. Paint shimmered like dawn. The mask was not costume. It was transformation. The dancer became the animal, the god, the force of the earth. In the rhythm of drums, in the rising chant, the mask opened the door between worlds. You watch the circle of masked figures. They move slowly around the fire. Their shadows stretch long across the ground. The masks glow in the light. Watching with still eyes, you feel no fear? Only calm. For here, the mask is not a barrier. It is an invitation. It shows you the truth that cannot be seen with bare skin. Think of your own life. There are masks you wear each day, not carved of wood or painted with gold, but woven of roles and names: child, friend, teacher, wanderer. Each mask helps you move through the world. Each one reveals a different side of your spirit. Without masks, the fullness of being cannot be known, yet these ancient masks are something deeper. They are not for daily life. They are for sacred crossing. To wear them is to step beyond the self, to walk into the presence of gods to feel ancestors near, to become more than one, more than human. The fire crackles, a mask of the sun is lifted high, its golden face shines, though the night surrounds it. The one who wears it spreads their arms, moving like rays of light. It is no longer a person before you. It is the dawn itself, breaking gently over the world. Another mask enters, painted deep blue. Its eyes are wide, its lips curved in silence. It feels like the night sky has walked into the circle. Stars seem to glimmer from its painted cheeks. It moves slowly, with grace. You feel the weight of time, the hush of eternity. The dancers turn together, sun and night circling each other. The fire glows between them, steady as the heart of creation. The masks remind you, light and dark, day and night, life and death, all are part of the same endless dance. In the temples of Egypt, priests wore masks of falcons honoring Horus, the sky god. Through the mask, the god's presence descended. The people bowed, not to the priest, but to the spirit behind the mask. The mask carried holiness into human sight. In the far north, shamans carved bone masks shaped like spirits of ice and storm. When they wore them, they called upon the wind, the whale, the bear. The mask was prayer. The mask was bridge. Through it, the invisible became near. You close your eyes for a moment. You imagine the weight of a mask upon your own. Face cool, wood resting on your skin, a stillness settling inside you, your breath slow, your heart steady. You are no longer only yourself, you are joined with something ancient, something vast. The mask teaches that the self is not fixed. It is not one face alone. It is many. It is shifting. It is open to the divine. The circle of dancers continues. Their feet whisper against the ground. The fire sways with them. Above, the moon drifts, watching quietly. The masks gleam in its silver light. They are beautiful. They are eternal. As you rest here, you realize that the mask is not only an object, it is also a mirror. When you look at it, you see your own hidden spirit reflected back, the parts unseen, the parts waiting to be revealed. The mask shows what lies beneath the surface. The drums grow softer, the fire lowers. The dancers slow their steps, one by one. They lift the masks from their faces, the carved eyes close, the painted lips fall still. The masks are placed gently on the earth, resting like sleeping guardians. The people beneath them breathe quietly. They are human once more, yet something has changed. They have carried the divine within them. They have tasted the mystery, and even without the mask, the presence remains. The night deepens further. The fire fades to embers. The circle empties, but the masks remain, silent upon the ground. Waiting, watching, holding the memory of spirits once called. You feel the hush settle over you. The masks have done their work. They have reminded you that the divine can be touched, even in silence, even in dreams. They have shown you that spirit wears many faces, yet is always one. Your breath is calm now, your body heavy with rest. You drift gently, as though wrapped in the quiet feathers of the night. The masks of the divine watch over you, steady and still. They do not vanish. They do not fade. They rest with you, keep you safe, and hold you in the circle of the sacred. Now let us drift onward. Now rest. As the stars return, the masks are set aside, but the spirit they carried lingers, glowing softly within your dreams. The night is hushed, deep as a hidden chamber. A soft breeze drifts through unseen corridors, carrying the scent of old stone and ancient incense. Above, the stars scatter across the velvet sky, each one glowing faintly, as though watching. You step into a temple of silence, where only the flicker of torches speaks. Their light bends, gently over walls carved with stories thousands of years old. This is Egypt, a land where gods once walked among the people in golden myths. A land where the desert holds secrets, beneath endless sand. And here, within the temple, a single symbol glows brighter than all, the feather of Maat. It rests upon a pedestal, painted in colors of dawn. Delicate lines mark each strand. It is simple, yet it carries the weight of eternity. For this feather was said to decide the fate of every soul. The goddess Ma'at is near. She is not loud, nor frightening. She moves like a whisper of wind. Her crown is a feather itself, standing tall and pure. Her eyes are calm. Her hands are open. She is balance. She is truth. She is justice woven into the rhythm of the universe. The story says that when a person died, they traveled to the Hall of Judgment. There, the soul's heart was placed upon a scale. On the other side lay the feather of Ma'at. If the heart was heavy with falsehood, greed, or cruelty, the scales tipped downward. If the heart was light, honest, and true, it balanced with the feather. Only then could the soul move onward, into the field of reeds, a land of peace, of harvest, of endless rest. You pause before the scales. The torchlight flickers. The air grows still. You can almost see the hearts of countless souls placed here, each one weighed gently, silently, against the feather, each one finding its place in the endless order of life. The feather teaches that truth is not heavy. It does not burden the soul. It frees it. It makes the heart light enough to rise, to travel on, to find eternal rest. Imagine your own heart as it beats within you now. It is steady, calm, like the rhythm of waves against the shore. It carries your stories, your joys, your memories. It carries shadows too, as all hearts do. But before the feather, shadows fall away. What remains is essence, pure and gentle. What remains is balance. Ma'at was not only a goddess, she was a law of being. The Nile itself followed her. Its floods rose and fell in balance, giving life to the fields. The stars turned in her rhythm, never breaking their path. The pharaoh ruled by her command, swearing to uphold her justice. To live outside Ma'at was to live outside harmony. To walk within her truth was to walk in peace. You hear the faint sound of water. Though the desert surrounds this temple, it is the memory of the Nile, flowing endlessly, carrying its gifts. Its current is balance, its depth is truth. It moves not too fast, not too slow. It flows as the feather rests, perfect, steady, eternal. The feather is more than judgment. It is also a guide. It reminds you to live with honesty, to speak with kindness, to act with fairness. It teaches that every choice is a thread in the great weaving of life. Too much weight in one place, and the weaving unravels. But balance keeps it whole. Balance keeps it beautiful. You close your eyes. You see a feather drifting in the air. It glows with soft white light. It floats gently, never falling, never forced. This is how the heart must be, not heavy with anger, not pulled by false words, but light, open, carried by truth. The temple walls shimmer in torchlight. Hieroglyphs tell the story of Anubis, the jackal-headed guide, leading souls to the scales. They show Thoth, the ibis-headed scribe, recording the weight of each heart. They show Amit, the devourer, waiting only if the heart fell heavy. But none of these figures bring fear here, for the feather glows brighter than all. Its promise is simple: live in truth, and the heart will rest. In the stillness, Ma'at seems to draw near. Her presence is soft as silk. Her gaze is endless as the desert horizon. She does not speak aloud, yet her meaning drifts into your mind. To walk in balance is to walk in peace. To carry truth is to carry light. The heart that holds both will never sink. Her feather glows brighter, then slowly fades, but its image lingers within you, resting quietly. You feel your own breath grow lighter, your chest rising and falling like a feather drifting in air, your heart steady, calm, unburdened. The temple darkens, the torches lower, the sound of water fades into silence, yet the feather remains in memory. Shining softly, it is no longer carved on stone, nor resting on a scale. It floats within you now, keeping balance in your dreams. You lie back in the quiet. The stars above you shimmer gently. The goddess Ma'at is not far. Her truth is the breath in your lungs. Her balance is the calm in your heart. Her feather rests within your spirit, lighter than air, softer than night. Now let us drift onward. Now rest, as the stars return. The feather of truth has been placed in your dreams, and your heart is light. Beneath the wide dome of the night sky, the world lies quiet. The stars are steady lanterns, shining in patient silence. The earth feels cool, wrapped in a gentle darkness. And there, rising from the folds of shadow, stands the mountain. It does not rush. It does not move. It simply rises, as it has risen for countless ages, stone upon stone, ridge upon ridge. Its body leans upward, steady as breath. To look upon it is to feel a stillness older than time itself. Mountains have always carried whispers of the divine. In many lands, they were thought of as ladders to heaven, bridges where the earth's roots touch the sky. Prophets wandered there. Seers climbed their faces. Gods were said to rest upon their peaks, watching over valleys and rivers far below. Now, you stand at the foot of such a sacred mountain. The air is cool. It smells of pine, and faintly of stone, kissed by evening mist. A stream moves near your feet, murmuring softly, its waters touched by the moonlight, flowing as though offering blessings to the ground. The climb ahead is not hurried. Each step is gentle, like a quiet breath that lifts and releases. The path bends upward, woven into the slope like a silver thread. You begin to follow it, your body light, your spirit calm. The mountain has many faces. On its lower slopes, life thrives. Grasses bend softly in the night breeze. Wildflowers, even in the dim light, glow faintly, their petals like little lanterns. Owls sit in the branches, turning their heads with patient wisdom, their eyes bright but never harsh. Every sound is soft, muffled by the cloak of night. Your footsteps touch the soil with care. The earth feels kind beneath you, holding you gently as you climb. In ancient times, seekers believed that mountains were places where the heart grew lighter. The higher you rose, the more your burdens fell away. Thoughts that felt heavy in the valley would drift like smoke in the thin mountain air. Here, at the base, you already feel the beginning of that release. As you climb, the trees grow taller. Pines and cedars reach upward, their dark shapes brushing against the stars. Their scent is deep, resinous, grounding. It fills your lungs like a slow, steady prayer. The forest is hushed, yet alive with quiet watchfulness. The mountain seems to breathe with you. Each inhalation is the mountain's wind. Each exhalation is the soft song of the trees. You pause for a moment, resting your hand against the rough bark of a cedar. It feels cool, textured with age. In its silence, you sense a memory, as though this tree has stood here for centuries, watching pilgrims like you pass by. Its roots are deep in the earth, yet its crown touches the heavens. It is a living bridge between worlds. The path turns again, and the trees grow thinner. The air becomes crisper. You can feel the openness of the night sky expanding around you. Above, the stars seem closer now, as though they lean down to greet your steps. In old stories, mountains were not just stone. They were beings, ancient guardians standing between earth and sky. The Greeks told of Olympus, where their gods sat upon thrones of cloud and light. In the east, Mount Meru was the center of all worlds, a cosmic spine holding up the heavens. In the desert, prophets wandered into Sinai, where fire and silence carried divine words. Every land, every people, looked upon mountains and felt their holiness. As you walk, you sense why. There is something in their silence, something in their height, the way they lift the spirit, without effort, without noise, just by being. The slope grows steeper now. You step carefully. Slowly, your body still light, still unburdened. With each step, you feel less tied to the valley below. The chatter of daily life fades. The weight of time itself softens. It is as though the mountain is teaching you to move like it does. Steady, rooted, patient. A small plateau opens before you. There, a pool rests in the rock, its waters smooth as polished glass. It reflects the moon with perfect stillness. When you kneel beside it, you see your face in its reflection, yet the reflection is not heavy, not bound by age or worry. It looks calm, light, as if the mountain itself has softened its lines. You dip your fingers into the water. It is cool, pure, like melted snow. For a moment, it feels as though the mountain is offering you a sip of its eternal peace. You drink. The water moves through you gently, like a blessing settling deep inside your chest. Around the pool, faint carvings mark the stone. Old hands made them. Long ago, spirals, lines pointing upward, shapes of birds with wide wings, signs of pilgrims who once rested here, leaving their prayers upon the rock. You rise and continue upward. The path grows narrow, winding closer to the heart of the mountain. The air thins. Each breath is deeper, more precious. The wind brushes against your skin like cool silk, like the passing of unseen wings. The stars are no longer distant lights. They feel near, somewhere above. They wait for you, as though the summit itself is a gate into their endless garden. Legends say that on mountaintops, the veil between earth and heaven thins. Here, the air is clearer. Here, the silence is deeper. Here, the soul feels almost free of the body, floating with the clouds that gather and scatter like white ships upon the dark sea of the sky. You reach a ledge and pause again. The valley below stretches out in shadow. Tiny rivers glimmer like threads of silver. Villages glow faintly with lantern light, like small nests of warmth in the dark. From this height, everything looks soft, delicate, like a painting made of breath and starlight. The path ahead is steep, but it does not ask for hurry. It asks only for presence. One step, then another. Stone beneath your feet. Wind across your face. The rhythm of a slow climb. The rhythm of a heart letting go. Stories tell of seekers who reached mountain peaks, not to conquer, but to listen. They did not rush to the top. They opened themselves step by step to the silence the mountain carried, and when they finally reached the summit, they found not thunder, but stillness, not fire, but peace. At last, the path smooths into a wide crest. You have reached the summit. The world below has dissolved into mist. The sky above is vast, endless. The stars are so close that it feels as though you could reach out and touch their cool, glowing light. The summit is silent, yet it is not empty. The silence feels full, like a song that does not need words. You sit upon the stone. It is cool beneath you, solid, eternal. The air flows around you, carrying scents of snow and cloud. Time feels slow, like honey poured gently. Here, there is nothing to hold, nothing to seek. Only the quiet meeting of earth and sky. The mountain has lifted you into stillness. It has carried you closer to the stars. And in this high silence, your spirit feels weightless. It drifts like a feather in clear air. Let your heart rest here, high among the peaks. Let your breath match the slow rhythm of the mountain's wind. Let your thoughts dissolve, like mist rising into the night. The sacred mountain does not fade. It remains, always. A ladder of stone, a quiet path toward light, even as you close your eyes. Its summit remains beneath you. Its silence remains within you. Now the stars return to their watch. Now the night deepens around you. Now you may rest, safe in the stillness of the mountain. Let us drift onward. Let us rest as the peaks hold their vigil. Now, sleep as the sacred mountain carries you softly into the quiet sky. The night is soft. Above you, the stars shimmer like gentle sparks upon a dark river. The world is quiet, wrapped in stillness as though time itself has slowed its steps. And in this calm, there glows a symbol older than stone, older than memory. The eye that sees, yet does not speak. It is not an eye of fear. It is not watching with judgment. It is an ancient sign of awareness. The hidden eye, painted on temple walls carved into stone, woven into myths that travel across ages. It is the reminder of vision beyond vision, of looking not only outward, but inward. You find yourself standing at the entrance of a quiet sanctuary. Its walls are smooth and cool, lit by the pale flame of oil lamps. The air is touched with the faint scent of incense. Spiced, sweet, grounding. The floor beneath your feet is stone, worn smooth by countless pilgrims before you. At the center of the sanctuary stands a tall pillar. Upon it rests a single carving. An eye, wide yet calm, its pupil shaped like a flame, its edges soft, curling like the wings of a bird. The hidden eye. You draw closer, and the space around you seems to breathe. The lamps flicker, the shadows bend and soften, and in the silence, you sense what the ancients once knew? That this eye does not look at you, but into you. Many peoples told stories of such eyes. In Egypt, the eye of Horus was painted upon tombs and charms, a promise of healing, of safety, of divine watchfulness. In the East, the third eye was spoken of as a hidden gate, a doorway that opened when the spirit grew quiet enough to hear itself. In desert temples, the all-seeing eye was carved high in stone, a reminder that no truth remains forever hidden, and across oceans, symbols of the eye appeared again and again, like the stars that guide ships upon the same sea. Always it carried the same whisper: awareness, clarity, awakening. Not the sharp gaze of judgment, but the soft seeing of light upon water. The kind of sight that notices the way a leaf trembles in the wind, or how a single star reflects in the still pool of night. You close your eyes for a moment. In the darkness behind your eyelids, the world softens. The sound of your breath becomes clearer. The beat of your heart is steady, rhythmic, and there, within, you sense a quiet spark. It is small at first, like a candle in the distance, yet it glows with calm steadiness. This is the hidden eye within you, not of flesh, not of bone, but of awareness. It is the part of you that listens 7 when the world grows noisy, the part of you that remembers peace even when days grow heavy. It is always here, waiting to open, waiting to shine. The sanctuary around you shifts, its walls fade into shadow. The pillar dissolves into mist, and you find yourself walking along a quiet river. The moon is high, its silver light flows across the surface of the water, breaking into tiny ripples. The air is cool, scented with reeds and stone. An owl passes silently overhead, its wings wide, its flight effortless. Here by the river, the hidden eye feels closer. The river itself seems to reflect it, its surface like a mirror of the night sky. You lean near and look into the water. The ripples settle, and you see not only your reflection, but something deeper. Your reflection carries light. It glows faintly at the center of your brow, like a star rising within you. You watch as the light grows, soft but steady, until it feels as though the river itself is gazing back at you. Ancient seekers believe that when the hidden eye awakens, the world grows clearer. It is not a new sight, but a deeper one. Mountains are still mountains, rivers are still rivers, but within them, a quiet truth glimmers. The mountain is not only stone, it is patience. The river is not only water, it is passage. The star is not only light, it is memory. With the hidden eye, everything shines with more than shape. Everything breathes with meaning. You rise from the riverbank, and the night guides you gently onward. The path curves through fields of tall grass, their tips brushing softly against one another, singing a hushed song as the wind passes through. The hidden eye does not demand. It does not push or force. It simply opens when you are ready. Like the dawn, it comes in its own time, slow, tender, inevitable. You walk until the fields give way to a quiet hill. At its crest rests a circle of standing stones. They are tall and ancient, their surfaces etched with lines half faded by time and weather. In the center of the circle glows another eye, carved deep into the largest stone. This one shines with moonlight, as though the stone itself remembers light. You step closer. The carvings are worn, yet their presence is strong here long ago. Pilgrims may have gathered in silence, waiting through the night for the rising sun to pass between the stones. For in that moment, the hidden eye within the heavens would align with the hidden eye within them. Stone and star, outer and inner, the seen and the unseen. You sit among the stones. The ground is cool beneath you. The night stretches wide above, the stars endless, patient, kind. The hidden eye seems to open more deeply now. It is as though the stars themselves are gazing not down, but through you. Their light touches your brow. It seeps into your chest, into your breath, into the quiet rhythm of your heart. You feel whole, not divided, not separate from earth, not separate from sky. Everything rests together. Everything breathes together. In many traditions, the eye was not a warning, but a blessing. It promised that nothing is truly hidden, that the heart can be known, that truth, like water, will always find its way back into light. The hidden eye is gentle. It teaches through stillness. It reminds you that clarity is not something to chase. It is something to allow. Just as the river allows the moon to rest upon it, you allow the quiet light to rest upon you. Just as the stone allows the wind to pass, you allow your thoughts to pass. And in that allowing, the hidden eye opens wider. The night deepens. The fields grow quiet. The standing stones hold their silence. And you remain, still soft, calm. The eye glows within you, a flame without heat, a star without distance. It does not close when your eyes grow heavy. It remains watchful in kindness, gentle in awareness. Let the hidden eye rest now within you. Let its light soften your breath. Let its vision cradle your heart. There is no need to hold on to it. It will remain, quiet and steady like the stars above. Now, the sanctuary fades. Now the river drifts into mist. Now the circle of stones dissolves into shadow. Only the night remains. Only the stars remain. Only the soft awareness of the hidden eye, opening, watching, blessing. Now rest as the stars return. Now sleep, as the hidden eye keeps its gentle vigil. Now drift, word by word, breath by breath, into the quiet of dreams. The night is still. Soft winds wander through unseen halls. The sky above shimmers with patient stars, each one a quiet lantern, guiding the dreamer deeper into rest. You stand at the edge of a threshold. A door of ancient wood rises before you, its surface carved with spirals and gentle signs. It is closed, yet not forbidding. It waits as if knowing that one day the right touch will open it, and in your hand there rests a key, not of iron, not of stone, but of gold. The golden key gleams faintly as though it holds a piece of sunlight, caught and preserved within its shape. The ancients spoke often of keys, not only as tools for locks, but as symbols of passage, gateways to what is hidden, doors between the seen and the unseen. In temples of Egypt, priests carried keys carved into sacred crosses, their loops symbolizing life everlasting. In Greece, goddesses of mysteries held keys to guide seekers into deeper wisdom. In the East, golden keys appeared in stories where spirits offered them to those ready to open the doors of inner awakening. Always, the key was more than metal. It was permission. It was trust. It was the moment when the hidden welcomed the seeker in. You lift the golden key, its weight gentle in your hand. It does not press heavy, but rests with calm balance. When you hold it close, you sense warmth, as though it remembers the sun even here in the cool night. The door before you glows faintly under the light of the stars. You step closer, place the key into the waiting lock, and turn it slowly. There is no sound of grinding, no harsh click, only a soft sigh, like the exhale of the earth itself. The door opens. Beyond the door is not a room, but a passage of light. It stretches softly, like a golden thread woven through darkness. You step within, and the path welcomes you. Each step feels lighter, as though the weight of time is falling away. The walls glimmer with faint patterns, curves, stars, flowing water, symbols of journeys, of guardians, of hidden treasures waiting to be found. The golden key has not vanished. It glows now in your hand, shining brighter with each step you take. Keys often appear in stories of thresholds, the threshold between life and death, the threshold between ignorance and wisdom, the threshold between silence and song. A key is the hand that opens the unseen, but it also reminds the traveler, every door is a choice. To open is to trust, to walk through is to surrender. And so, as you move deeper, the key reminds you that you are safe, that every door opening before you is a door meant to welcome. The passage grows wider. At its end, a great hall unfolds. It is neither temple nor palace, but something older. Its ceiling is high, arched like the sky. Its floor is smooth, etched with circles upon circles, like ripples spreading outward in still water. In the center stands a chest. Its surface is covered in gold leaf, but the glow is soft, not blinding. It feels ancient, as though it has been waiting here through countless ages of silence. You know without words that this is what the golden key was given for. You approach slowly. The hall is quiet, save for the whisper of your own breath. You kneel before the chest, and the key glimmers once more. It fits perfectly into the lock, as if it has always belonged there. The chest opens without effort, and inside, there is not treasure, not jewels, not weighty riches. There is only light, a golden light pure and soft, like the glow of dawn rising over water. It spills gently into the hall, filling every shadow, every corner, with warmth. This light does not blind. It embraces. It folds around you like a cloak, like a mother's arms, like the gentle rest of sleep itself. You realize then, the golden key never opened a door outside of you. It opened a door within. The chest was not built of wood and gold. It was your own heart, patient and waiting, and the light is the treasure you have always carried. Peace, compassion, clarity, the timeless gifts of the Spirit. You sit in the golden glow. The hall breathes around you, alive, calm, eternal. The circles on the floor ripple faintly, as though stirred by unseen water. The air itself seems to hum a low, steady song without words. You close your eyes. The light remains. It shines within your chest. Soft, steady, endless. The golden key dissolves, not because it is lost, but because you no longer need to hold it. It has become part of you. The ancients taught that keys are not given lightly. They appear when the seeker is ready. They open not just doors, but understanding, and once a door is opened, the path will never close again. You are changed now, not in a way the world can measure, but in a way the soul remembers. A door inside you has opened, and behind it, the golden light will always shine. The hall fades, its walls dissolve into mist. The chest becomes the horizon, the light becomes the dawn, and you find yourself once more beneath the patient stars. The sky stretches wide. The earth rests steady, and within you glows the hidden gift, the treasure unlocked. Let the golden key rest in memory now. Let it shine quietly in your dreams. There is no need to search further tonight. The door is open. The light is here. You are already home. Let us drift onward into deeper stillness. Let us rest as the stars return to their endless watch. Now sleep softly, gently, as the golden light guides you into dreams. The evening hush has settled. A velvet night sky stretches wide, soft and endless, its fabric woven with silver stars. A hush of wind drifts through the tall grasses, their blades swaying with gentle rhythm like a slow heartbeat of the earth. In the quiet meadow, you stand at the edge of stillness. The air carries a faint sweetness, a fragrance of blossoms touched by moonlight. All around, shadows lie gentle and kind, softened by the silver glow above. And then, a spark. Small, golden, tender. It glimmers, hanging in the air as though a star has fallen and paused just above the earth. Another spark flickers, and then another, until the field breathes with light. The fireflies have come. The ancients told stories of such tiny flames. They said each spark was a messenger, a wandering soul carrying whispers of the divine. In villages long ago, Children chased their glow believing they carried blessings in their wings. In far forests, elders spoke of them as ancestors, guides who returned in the warm season to remind the living of their gentle watch. The firefly, they believed, was proof that light does not only belong to sun or stars or blazing flame. Even the smallest, fragile and fleeting, can hold a glow strong enough to soften the night. The meadow begins to shimmer. The air fills with drifting sparks, hundreds, maybe thousands. They rise and fall, appearing and vanishing like a quiet breath of the universe. You walk slowly among them. The glow brushes your skin, soft as silk. They do not fear you, and you do not disturb them. Instead, you are part of their dance. Their light gathers in a circle, spinning gently above the grass. The fireflies draw patterns in the air, a moving wheel of gold and shadow, a living circle of flame. You stand within it, and it feels as though the earth itself has opened a sanctuary of light, not of stone or walls, but of living sparks. Fireflies were once called lanterns of the soul. In Japan, poets wrote of them as the tears of warriors, falling gently after battles into fields of grass. In Greece, myths told of glowing spirits, tiny companions sent by gods to guide wanderers in the dark. And in distant forests, tribes spoke of them as small guardians, each spark a reminder that the unseen is alive, watching, listening. The circle they weave tonight is ancient, a symbol carried in every culture, every prayer, every fire lit in darkness. For the circle means wholeness. It means beginning without end. It means the return of what was lost, always finding its way back to light. You watch as the sparks gather closer. The circle grows brighter. The fireflies move with no leader, yet they know the rhythm. Each one adds its glow, and together, they weave a pattern greater than themselves. It is like the stars above, leaning low to the earth. It is like the embers of a sacred fire that never fades. It is like memory, alive in the present moment. You breathe deeply, and the air tastes of sweetness. Like dew and honey, the glow settles around you, warm, safe, eternal. Long ago, elders taught that fire, even in its smallest form, was a bridge to the divine, a candle flame, a coal kept alive through the night, a spark that glowed in the hollow of wood. All were sacred, because in flame, life and spirit could be seen. The firefly carries this same secret. It is flame without burning. It is light without smoke. It is the spirit of fire made gentle enough to rest upon the palm. Even now, as you lift your hand, a single firefly drifts near. It rests upon your finger, its tiny body pulsing with glow. The rhythm is slow, like a heartbeat, like a lullaby, and as it shines, you feel your own heart soften, glowing with the same steady warmth. The circle of fireflies rises higher. They move together, a wheel of gold turning slowly in the night. It surrounds you, yet it does not close you in. Instead, it opens you, like a doorway without walls. The ancients would have called this a circle of blessing, a space where the visible and invisible could meet in peace. Within such circles, dreams were born, visions were received, prayers were carried into the quiet of the universe. And now, as you stand within, you feel the same. The fireflies are carrying your breath, your stillness, your quiet presence into the vastness of the night. Above you, the stars look down. The fireflies answer them with gentle sparks, as though earth and sky air speaking in light. One eternal pattern, woven from the great stars above and the tiny flames below. It reminds you that nothing is too small to hold the sacred. Not a flame on a wick, not a spark in a field, not even a single breath rising from a resting chest. All are part of the same circle. The fireflies shift, and their glow begins to form shapes, a spiral, slow and turning, then a wave, flowing across the meadow. Finally, they return again to the circle, as though reminding you that all movement returns to center. The circle glows brighter now. It pulses, a living rhythm until it seems less like insects and more like a halo of pure light. You close your eyes. Still, the glow remains. It fills the space behind your eyelids, gently golden, softly pulsing. You no longer know if the light is outside you or within you. It no longer matters. In many lands, Fireflies were said to be souls of the departed. Visiting the living in seasons of warmth, they were welcomed, not with fear but with joy, because they carried proof that the circle of life never truly ends. Perhaps the sparks tonight are also memories. Perhaps they are dreams not yet lived. Perhaps they are whispers of love that never fade, but travel in glowing wings through the night. The circle is eternal, and you are inside it, safe and are held whole. Slowly, the fireflies drift apart. Their circle loosens like petals opening, like ripples fading back into still water. They do not vanish all at once. Instead, one by one, they drift into the darkness, each leaving a trail of golden afterglow. The meadow grows quiet again. But within you, the light has not faded. It glows steady, a memory alive in your chest. The fireflies have left their gift. A flame you will carry always, soft, tender, eternal. Now the grasses whisper, the stars keep watch, the air cools into silence, the meadow returns to rest. You, too, return to rest. The circle is complete. The fireflies have shone their light, and now their glow remains within you, steady and kind. Let us drift onward into the hush of dreams. Let us rest, as the sparks of night become the sparks of sleep. Now close your eyes. Softly, gently, the circle of fireflies guides you into stillness. Sleep, and let the golden glow carry you home. The night is vast and endless. It stretches above like a sea of velvet, dark yet shimmering with stars. Each star glows softly, not sharp or piercing, but gentle, like lanterns placed far away. The air is still. The earth breathes slowly, and you are here, floating within this stillness, listening to the rhythm of time. A hush covers the world, as though the universe itself is pausing, waiting for you to rest. The grasses lie flat in the night breeze. The river nearby moves in silence, its ripples glowing faintly with moonlight. And above it all, the wheel of stars turns, slow and eternal, a circle that never ends. You are not outside of it. You are within it. The eternal return, the circle of life, the breath that comes and goes, the day that fades into night and rises again as morning. All things move in circles. All things find their way back. The ancients spoke of this often. They told stories of endless cycles. In Egypt, the scarab beetle rolled its golden ball, a symbol of the sun reborn each dawn. In India, the wheel of samsara turned life after life, a spiral of births and deaths that stretched beyond the eye. The Greeks told of the phoenix, the bird of flame, that burned to ash only to rise again in brilliant wings. Everywhere, in every land, people saw the same pattern. The seed falling into earth, the root pushing upward, the tree blossoming, then shedding, then blossoming once more, always. The circle returned. You walk now through this timeless truth. The path beneath your feet is soft with dust. Each step feels as though it has been taken before. And perhaps it has, for time does not move only forward. It moves outward, like ripples across a pond. Each wave returns to shore. Each circle touches another. You feel the rhythm in your own chest. The breath rises. The breath falls. Each return is not the same, yet it is not different, like the waves, like the seasons, like the stars circling overhead. The eternal return is not about rushing forward. It is about resting in the truth that nothing is truly lost. Everything comes again. Love, memory, joy, even sorrow, they fade. They do not vanish. They return, changed, softened, renewed. A river may leave its banks, but always it finds the sea. The sea may rise as cloud, but always it returns as rain. So too with the soul. So too with the heart. Look above. The constellations turn slowly. Long ago, shepherds, travelers, and seekers looked to these same stars. They saw Orion's belt, the curve of the Great Bear, the flowing river of the Milky Way. They too whispered their stories of return. The stars vanish with dawn, yet they always return with night. The circle is certain. The cycle is kind. In the temple fires of Mesopotamia, priests told of gods who descended, died, and returned again. In the cool forests of the north, elders spoke of seasons that died in winter and were reborn in spring. The eternal return was their comfort, their lullaby, their way of knowing that endings are never the final word. You step into a clearing now. At the center stands a great wheel, ancient and carved from stone. Its circle is unbroken. Its spokes point in every direction. It is not a wheel to move wagons. It is a wheel to move the spirit. As you watch, the wheel begins to glow, not with fire, but with soft light, as though moonbeams have filled the stone. The spokes begin to turn, slowly, silently. The wheel is alive. It is the breath of time itself. Each turn of the wheel is a day. Each turn is a season. Each turn is a lifetime. It does not end. It only returns. It carries you gently around and back again. The ancients did not fear this return. They welcomed it. To them, it was not a trap. It was a promise. The promise that nothing is wasted. The promise that every loss finds a way to be restored. The promise that the soul, like the stars, like the fireflies, like the rising sun, always returns to light. And so you too can rest. For every breath you give will come back to you. Every dream you release will find you once more. The wheel will carry you, and you will not be lost. You close your eyes for a moment. The turning of the wheel fills your mind, round and round, soft and slow. It is like a lullaby sung not in words, but in rhythm. Each circle is a comfort, each circle a reminder. You are part of eternity. You are never outside it. In the far distance, a drum begins to sound. Its beat is low, steady, like the pulse of the earth. It matches your heart. It matches your breath. It reminds you that rhythm is eternal. Birth and death, light and shadow, waking and sleeping, always returning. The fire from the drum fades. The wheel grows dim. The stars shine once more overhead, and you are left in quiet stillness. The eternal return is not a circle of fear. It is a circle of rest. It tells you that you do not need to hold on. What leaves will return. What fades will rise again. You may close your eyes, because morning will return. You may let go, because love will return. You may sleep, because the soul always wakes again. Now, the night deepens, the meadow cools, the stars grow brighter, the air is heavy with stillness, and the circle continues its quiet turning. You are safe within it. You are carried by it. Like a child in gentle arms, like a bird upon the wind. You are part of the endless return. Rest now. Let your breath follow the circle, in and out, rising and falling, returning, always returning. The stars above have returned tonight, so too will the dawn, so too will the light in your heart, for nothing is ever lost. The circle holds all. The circle carries all. The circle returns all. Now drift onward, as the wheel turns softly. Now rest, as the stars return to their watch. Close your eyes, and let the eternal return carry you into sleep. The circle is endless. The circle is kind. The circle is yours. Sleep now, within the eternal return.